Welcome, everyone. It is May 3rd, and we are going to continue our hopefully rolling into a massively epic story of Legend in the Mist for our Southies in South Crossing. So,
Woo.
Fyfe is going to give us our recap today, and then we'll invite our archivist Spot in to record. Go ahead.
Absolutely. So we had a fun fair the previous episode, but the episode that we just had was kind of the day after. We were able to have a bit of festivities, stories that were told. A lot of our stories happened around dusk or when it was starting to get darker, where we went out, talked with each other. As far as my character went, I went and talked to old Marta, who certainly was a questionable woman, and I was able to discover the signs on the tree because she often hangs out over there, and she began to reveal to all of us a few different things. She began to find us around the town, poking us on our tattoos and calling us the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and whatnot. She foretold or foreshadowed the coming of these beings that were not quite fey, not quite um not quite living. They were and not quite spirit either. There's something else. The shadow people. Um I think that she revealed one thing I recall. It was like they'll enter into your house without permission, without asking. They'll take your young and whatnot. That was the last one I think I just made up. Um but um we all were out. Mist began to grow from all around, so much so that it was difficult to see, and things are moving in that mist, coming into the village. We could hear screaming, and people started to become attacked. These little goblinish sort of creatures, however, they were more like leafy. They were kind of natural. They had almost bush-like backs and furs. Came out. They had very long fingers for clawing, and at first, at least from my perspective, right? Because you guys might have been like, "What the heck was Fyfe doing?" But at first they didn't exactly attack anybody. They were freaking people out. Absolutely. But they hadn't yet really attacked people. They were kind of like clawing out at them there and there, making people scared. And we came together to try to help the villagers. There was a big crowd, people running. And they did eventually start to attack. And so we are all springing into action right now to stop what was going on. In the middle of it all, however, in the middle of the chaos, at the very back, I believe over by the bridge, if I'm not mistaken, there was another one that appeared. It has sort of like mask. I uh, might have had antlers. Um, and appeared. It almost looks sort of like maybe the shaman, the booyog of the group. I don't know. Definitely a leader looking sort of figure, and I believe that's where we left off last time.
Very good.
Accurate, Jim?
I think I think from Fife's perspective, it's as accurate as Fife could get. No, it's. I
Lovely.
think you covered a lot of things that I even would have kind of glazed over, not remembering some of those details. So, and I love the interpretation of what you remember, that, like that's what you
Mm.
went, that's what you took away from the session last time. So that's great. All right. So while you were doing that, though, Anthony, do you want to say something?
I had a kind of a similar reaction when the creatures attacked. Um, Davrim, because of who he is, how he was raised, his kind of traditional mindsets and such, he probably would have reacted much more strongly to these odd creatures, so very, very much more, possibly more distrustful and violent, if he hadn't already been like interacting with Fife earlier. His interactions with Fife have mostly been positive. even though his initial reaction was very negative. So he was a little more inclined to be like, okay, well, these strange things exist. Let's welcome them to the festival. That didn't quite work out, but that was kind of why he reacted kind of the way he did.
My
Was
bad.
at first he was like, these guys are more Fyfe-like guys.
Excellent, excellent, good. All right. So with that, we will start. We'll invite our bot in. They're having issues apparently because I tried to. It says this interaction failed. So last time, while you were talking, I was getting it ready, and what you do is you do /start, and then you enter, and then it says choose a campaign. So I chose South Crossing, and then it goes, this interaction failed. I'm like, what? So they must be having issues. And then just then, if it succeeds, it goes, okay, you've selected this world, ready to start, and it shows all of the cast members and their Discord names, it's character names, and then it's like, you ready to go? And then there's a start session button, and then that says this interaction failed. So normally it just goes boom, and it just comes right into our chat, but maybe they're working on it. Not cool. All right, let me then add a local recording. Okay, well, here we go. The situation seems bleak at the moment. There is a unnatural fog that has permeated the town square and out through the streets of our village of South Crossing. There is screaming and worry coming from all the villagers who are being harassed and jabbed at and maybe even starting to be dragged off. At the edge of kind of where the forest, there's some, between the buildings, there's some areas where there are fields, some areas where there's thickets of trees and bushes, and from one of those areas steps out a different looking the Sablekin, right? This is one of the guys that's got a weird kind of mushroomy little hat going on, and he's got some different kinds of mushrooms kind of growing out. You've seen them on trees where they they're just like these little half circles that stick out. He's got some of these going down his arms, his shoulders, and he does carry a little staff with some kind of animal skull on it to make him look a little more ominous, and some feathers attached to that as well. He seems to, when he swirls his staff around, that seems to generate some of this extra fog, and it rolls out into the village. And then also, over in the distance, on the bridge itself, there are these little creatures, these infant-sized little toddlers of warped, twisted, dark, mottled skin, and they're doing some kind of weird movements that don't look normal. They're even their joints seem to bend the wrong ways or something while they're moving. Some new kind of break dance or something going on up on top of the bridge. And with them is another one of those mushroom-hatted creatures who seems to be making some kind of a musical clicking and cracking sound, and he is also doing kind of a dance, leading the others in the country line dance going up on the bridge. The shaman that is down in the village, kind of leading this group, he whistles and chirps. Sounds almost insectoid or even like bird-like. And the mist kind of shuffles around a little bit, and the Sablekin that were facing each of you, they just vanish. They 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 kind of roll away or spin and duck, and it's like the mist just gobbles them up, and they seem to be gone. And then you hear some villager yell, "Fire!" And Brutus, you probably have a really good vantage on this. You're up pretty high. You look over, and sure enough, one of the thatched roofs of one of the different buildings around. A lot of the ones in town have shingled roofs, wood shingles, but this is a thatched roof over just a kind of a little cabin or a hovel, and it has caught on fire, and it is blazing. It's going good. What do you do?
Oh, that's no good. And I look around for any type of water or earth or something I can use to throw at it.
There are wells. You have a river. It's a little too kind of not convenient to get that river all the way over onto that building. There's a well near the center of town, but also periodically there are little wells throughout the little village to support how big it is over the thing. But it's not that also not convenient. You can certainly go get a bucket out of the well, and that'll take you some time to do, but you could do that if you like.
Okay. Is there anybody inside the burning building right now?
You haven't heard if there's anyone inside the building. It doesn't seem to be the case. Most of the people in the village, so are in the square, or were. They've been scattered a bit in the mayhem, but no. This odds are probably not anyone in it, but there could be.
Okay. Then the first thing I go is go to the closest well, and I'm immediately bringing up the biggest bucket of water I can get.
Okay. It's a one-size-fits-all bucket, so you will get a bucket full of water. All right, Davrim. Brutus has run over toward the well and is starting to try to get a bucket of water. What do? Comes to your mind now that there are rain barrels that people collect as well. So, like they gather it off of the roofs or whatever, and it gathers in the barrel, and then they sometimes have to filter it, but they often use that as just a water source for things. So
Some kind of reservoir?
yeah, just like not the well, but rainwater. So.
Sure, I'll go check those.
Okay, there's certainly a barrel of water. It's a big barrel. It'll be bigger than a bucket.
All right, I am hauling one over to the fiery hut.
Okay, it's pretty heavy. Let's see how well you do with that.
Sure.
I'm sure you're pretty strong. Just don't ever see blacksmiths that aren't well muscled. So.
Yeah, so I don't actually have any strength-related tags.
Yeah.
So can I generate one right now?
Sure. From your blacksmith.
All right, I will use. I'll use my blacksmith tag. Waiting for approval.
I am. I'm looking at. You've been disoriented by these guys, so I'm going to go ahead and throw that in as a weakness on this. It's a negative status.
For determining my strength?
No, actually, yeah. Rethinking that. No, go ahead and you can. I think you can remove that. Can you?
I don't know how. I can cancel it and try it again.
I was thinking more in a strength-related. Yeah, there you go.
Action.
Yeah, in a strength related action, but this is just you're trying to generate at least a crispy tag. Yeah.
Yep.
So you can you get this little temporary tag of something for your strengths.
Yeah.
Muscled.
Muscled. We'll go with that. So I'll go ahead and use that now.
Sweaty muscles. I like it. Okay. That should appeal to some sliver of our audience.
Okay, so I'm going to let's see, what do I do? Add the story tag?
Yeah.
And I'll try throwing that one in there. All right, see what you think of these. I forgot to add disoriented.
Okay, go for that.
All right, so I'm using muscled, iron will, accustomed to heat, and then I'm disoriented
Okay.
for our audience at home. Did I burn something?
No, you just had 4 power.
Oh, okay. I heard burning noises. Okay,
Oh.
7.
Did you?
Wrong kind of
Yep,
water.
muscled burns on use. Right there. Muscled burns on use.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
because
okay.
It's crispy, right?
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So that's with consequences.
Burnt to a crisp. Okay. All right. I'm going to give you you lift this up and you start walking it over toward the burning building, and maybe calling to Brutus, use this, and you're gonna maybe have a sore back because of that. It's gonna cost you a little bit in that regard. So I'm gonna give you a, let's see. Sore back 1. That work? Yeah. Okay.
And
So
testing out
Yep.
testing out these mechanics, I will use 1 power for an extra feat to make sure as a consequence I don't drop any of the water.
Okay. Cool.
Mm.
I think that went well. All right. So, Fyfe, while you are over there near Stape, you're trying to ward off this little group of guys, and they just kind of vanish away into the mist. You start to wonder where they went, and the bell begins to ring in the tower of the town hall. It's a little, not like an imposing tower, but it's got a bell in it, and it often is used to gather the townspeople for important meetings or announcements or emergencies, that sort of thing. So people come a running when that bell was. No one's going to run here because they're already here for the most part. But this bell starts to ring, and you look up at the tower, and you see that there are 2 of these little guys hanging like upright where the bell tower is, and they are hitting the bell, and it's kind of swinging, but they're hitting it with these, hammers, and so bang, 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 and they're kind of bang. So it's not a normal ring; it's an unusual ring at a really weird rhythm. But you sense somehow there must be some kind of rhythm to that. But they're up there banging on the bell. What do you do?
Okay.
No threat to you, but there's certainly.
Yeah, totally. So I think now is a perfect time for me to like urge Elder Stape to do something, since we do have his little card.
Yep.
He's the alderman. He's close to the southeast. He's a part of the southeast. I would turn to him and be like, "We have to get the people out of here," trying to mitigate the consequence of innocent obstacles. And I'd be like, "Brutus has a farm. It's not too far off." And so I'd want to urge him to do something. And then for me, Marta said to not let the dance end. If I'm recalling correctly.
You want some help with recalling? She said, "Don't let them finish the dance."
Got you. Okay. I have two options here. I'm thinking about it. You got that bell there that I could probably mess with a bit. All right. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to. Oh, can I use the create effect? Create a new object or being using tags. Oh, but I don't have the tags for it. Okay. Let me think about this. Essentially, my idea here is I want to disrupt the rhythm that they're creating with this. Obviously, they're kind of dancing to the music. So I have a ranged weapon. I'm a marksman, and so I can pull out my bow. But I want to be able to. Oh, I can totally do that because I got a pack. I'd like to gather up like some rocks on the ground. Take like a bit of felt from my pack and wrap it around an arrow, and then send it off toward the bell to kind of create a bunch of rocks hitting the bell at odd intervals.
Okay. Sure. Like.
What do you think about that?
Yeah.
I can use my runaway pack from my backpack. Oh, Archivist AI is here. I can use my Runaways pack as a sort of sacrifice for... I see here, at least in the Tinderbox demo, it said you can make a create effect and add 2 power per tag.
Right,
I don't know exactly what that means.
What that means is when your results... So when you make a roll, you first gather power
that's
for that.
spending powers.
Yeah,
Got it.
So you can...
Okay.
Right.
So we'll see how I go then.
And you can create a tag with 1 power, but it's a crispy tag like Davrim just did.
Well, I'd like to use marksman at the very least. I'm still getting used to how the system actually runs.
Sure.
So
we
can you
are,
coach
trust
me on how to do what I was thinking about, or how we should go about it?
You want to hit the bell to create kind of an odd, like an off syncopation or whatever to what they're trying to do, right? Trying to add more chaos into whatever it is they're doing. Okay.
Exactly.
So, I think the...
Wait. How tall is the roof of this building?
Well, it's a pretty good sized building. It's one of the bigger buildings in town. Not as big as the tavern in the inn, but it's a pretty good sized building. It's supposed to be able to house town halls and that kind of thing when there's meetings. Maybe there was some use as a church at some point in the past. They still call it the chapel every now and then.
I'm wondering if I can use haphazardous leap to also, with more of a movement, jump up fire and start climbing up.
Sure. Yep. So you certainly, and there would be things along the side of the building. Maybe you could boost your way up, kind of parkour and kind of jump your way on up there, right? So you could so that's a different action. than hitting the bell. But if you want to get up,
It'd be a different
onto
action?
Yeah, because now you're really trying to get up onto the roof instead. I don't see that as affecting the bell just yet.
Sure.
So go ahead and do that. Try to get up onto the roof.
Yeah, because I think I can do the most help if I'm actually up there with the bell.
A quick outcome.
So I'll do a haphazardous leap here. Quick outcome?
Yeah,
you
quick
said?
outcome for that. And that, because it's just kind of almost like a pass-fail kind of thing. And so yeah, you are bruised. I'm going to throw that in there. This is from the last time that you...
I fell.
Yeah, when you fell out of the window. Cool. Okay, so that's success with consequences. So this just means that you were not quiet in any regard. You kind of grunted while you were climbing up. Yeah. Oh man, that hurts. But you were jumping up and climbing up onto the roof. You're up on the roof, so you're at the whatever that top of the roof is called. There's a word for that. You're
Steeple?
Nah, kind of maybe. I think the steeple is where the bell tower, like the bell is.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
Regardless, yeah, you're at the apex of the roof, and you're climbing toward where the tower is. And so there is a Sablekin that jumps down. There was a third you didn't see jumping down off of, and he comes. He like looks at you. He's got a hammer in one hand, and he's kind of scratching the roof as he goes by. This is definitely one of those wood shingled roofs, and he's like trying to cut, and he starts to come at you like he's some kind of big evil monster, but he's about 2 feet tall. So that's your consequences. You've got their attention.
All right.
And that's good enough for me. So let's move to Brutus. All right, Davrim has muscled a big barrel of water. You throw your bucket on the fire, and it just, not a lot, but there's this big rain bucket, and he's staggering under the weight of it, but he's got it. I'd like to see you try to put out that fire with that. So let's see. You can. I'm going to give you a tag of rain barrel.
Thank you. Thank you, Davrim. Didn't say that. And so I pick it up to try and use all that rainwater to take out the fire.
Okay, so you've got a tag in the scene thing for that, and you can have that.
Scene. Yeah. And I'm doing a tracked outcome or quick outcome?
You can just do a quick outcome. I think it's a simple task. We don't need to track statuses or tags.
Move with left. Right. Uh-oh. I'm trying to remember how to use the system again.
So yeah, you can just start the roll if you want and hit execute move, and it pops up a window. Move that kind of off to the side so you can see all your tags, and then just click the tags because if you click on your sheet, the window is going to go behind your sheet, right? Brings your sheet
Do I need to?
There
we go. Okay.
And now you can add any other tags that make sense.
Okay. Heavy load.
I'm going to turn rain barrel positive for you. There you go.
Okay.
And then
I know wood.
Lift a heavy load, rain barrel, strong as an ox. I like it.
Yep.
Okay.
Think that's.
And I'm going to throw in your 2 tags that are really bad for you.
Ooh.
And actually, I'm going to throw in gashed. You still have some cuts from being attacked by those things. So I'm going to add those weaknesses. Those weakness tags are going to add experience to your theme, where they come from. I think it's funny.
Okay.
Both of you have 2 weakness tags that are almost the same, just inviting me to click both of them. All right.
How'd that do?
Yeah. So you succeed, and you're going to put the house out. The fire goes out, and the rain barrel makes a large hole in the ceiling, the roof of that building, because that's your consequence. So we're going to have just kind of this broken building, but the fire's out. You did it. Oh dear.
It's all about your house,
Get a
but
room, you two.
fire
Get a
stop.
room. Sorry. Anthony's dog.
I like to think there was somebody in the attic, and you're like looking through the burnt opening, like, sorry.
Over. Oh, sorry. Stop the fire.
Yeah, so you were like you like lifting the barrel way up and pouring, and it just slips out of your hand while it does. So it just puts out the fire and goes right through the roof. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. Oops. All right. So you can see as you put the fire out, there were a couple of these little gremlins that ran off from the building, and you notice across the street, further away from the bridge, another fire starts on a roof over there. Well, or you see a torch get lit, and there's a Sablekin standing on the roof, and he is going to light the fire. What do you do?
I try to go and grab the Sablekin and pull them off. If I'm tall enough to grab them, just...
Yep. Okay. So go ahead and do that. This will be a tracked outcome, and use some tags for doing that. See if you can run over there and stop him before he sets the blaze on the house ablaze.
Could I add always thinking ahead? Because I'm already seeing that they're going to do it quickly.
Sure.
That and would clobber kind of count since it's grabbing and...
Yeah, that's fine. Yep.
Alright, I think that, and then any weaknesses.
Okay, I've added your gashed in there.
Okay.
So we'll just approve. I'll go ahead and roll.
Cool.
So with a 9, you succeed. You grab the guy. He's pretty small in your big hand. It's like but he drops the torch, and it starts to just roll down the thatched roof, and starts to catch the roof on fire as it does so. So you grabbed him, but you didn't necessarily stop him from doing that. Davrim, you see what happens as you're like stretching your back, like, oh dang, but the adrenaline is still pumping, so you don't feel it so bad. You're gonna feel it later. But you see what happens, and there's a house on fire. Anything that you want to do about that? What do you do?
Sorry, you're talking to me or something?
Davrim.
Are there any more of those rain barrels?
Sure, you could find another one.
May I ask a question very quickly?
Yeah.
Because I see we kind of went through all of us. Is Stape able to do anything?
You can do what you want with Stape. Yeah, he has tags. You can make an action. Yep, absolutely.
Okay. Sorry, continue.
Yeah. I'm not going to put him in the spotlight, so you can do that when I put you in the spotlight.
Well, it's Davrim's turn. Go ahead.
Okay, Davrim, what do? You're going to do another rain barrel maneuver?
Yeah.
That's perfectly fine. So you're going to here's another one. You're the whole bucket brigade for the job.
Right, exactly. We're in kind of reversed roles here. All right. So we'll go ahead and do that.
So I think let's do a tracked outcome, because what I want to do is use the power that you present to do to create the tag rain barrel.
Sure.
for sure. And any other tags that you think might come into play. I think that's what we should have done the first time is instead of a quick outcome, we should have done a tracked outcome, and then you created tags that you're generating here by bringing a rain barrel into the story, right?
Right. I think that's what I was kind of doing in my head.
Right. Me too. And then I'm like, oh, we should have made a tag for that because I just made a tag. So.
Yeah, from near as I can tell, there's no difference between quicked and tracked in as far as what the program does.
It just tells you that it counts the power that you have and so forth, and says you have this much power from your success, right? Mechanically, it's just a roll. It's just whether we're generating tags or statuses in a tracked outcome.
Okay. So I will. Yeah, I will try that again. I'm not gonna do the prep action this time. Because I don't anticipate succeeding at this.
Okay.
So I will use Iron Will.
Okay.
And soar back. Ooh, what happened here? Choose one tier. Yeah, that's what I have.
Okay.
So this is with 0 power? Oh, I guess that didn't work.
Hold on.
Wait, what happened?
I
think I accidentally got rid of my... I think I accidentally got rid of the soar back status when I was trying to add it in.
Oh. Yeah, you subtracted by 1 tier, so it went soar back 0 because you took 1 tier off of it. So just click on the name itself next time, and that will cause you to add it as a thing. All right, so you're not disoriented, but I'm going to go ahead and add disoriented in place of soar back. We'll fix that in a minute. For the roll. I've given you stubborn and inflexible as a weakness tag, but made it a power tag for you because I think that your stubbornness and inflexibility, you're going to just do this damn thing all over again, even though your muscles are not really, you're tired, your back hurts, you've got some issues going on. So let's see if you're kind of like Iron Will. I'm doubling down kind of on your Iron Will.
Okay.
So go ahead and make that roll. There you go. Nice. So.
Wow.
So you have power of 1. You can absolutely create a rain barrel. Okay, so what are you going to do so you drop another rain barrel next to the giant as he's trying to sort out what this little guy is doing. He's making all kinds of growls and twitters and tweets and screeches and all that kind of stuff at you.
The giant?
No, the Sablekin in his hand. So Brutus, it's like looks really angry at you. It's chittering and kind of growling and making all these different sounds. Must be some kind of language. Can't just be, but could be that it's just a crazy little animal insect thing. Just creating the rain barrel tag here. Come on. Check the box. There we go. All right. So you have that going on. All right. Meanwhile, Fyfe, you're up on the roof, and a Sablekin is closing on you. Stape is down below. You've left him behind. He was trying to calm some of the villagers and get them to move inside. Let's say the town hall, because that's a nice stone building. Might be a safe place for them.
Okay, even better than Brutus's farm then. Yeah, yeah. I was hoping that we could use maybe alderman and the Southies for a check for him.
Okay. Yeah. So you want him to remove innocent obstacles?
Yeah, that's the idea.
Yep. Okay. Sounds good.
And quick outcome or tracked outcome?
A tracked outcome.
Or is it there's also a mitigate consequences. I don't know if maybe
That's
more
incoming. That's incoming harm. When I said,
Okay.
you're going to be burned if you don't. So you mitigate to see if you can get out of the way or whatever. All right. So alderman and Southies. And I don't think bruised really applies here. He can do this while he's bruised without.
Well, I mean, it's not me, it's him, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but it's you using his tag, so that's why I'm thinking that's not going to play in. All right.
Wait, does this count as my turn?
No, it
This is
doesn't. You don't
sort of
have
just-
turns in
okay.
this game. We have the spotlight.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. So that's a power of 2, so that's enough to remove.
Why did I
obstacles.
burn alderman? I didn't mean to burn it.
Yeah, it's like a crew tag. It's a crew theme. So all of the tags on this theme are crispy, which means they'll come back later, but they're
Gotcha.
used up for
Okay.
now.
All right. And then on my sort of spotlight, I think I'll now that I'm kind of up on the roof, this guy's in front of me. He's in between me and the bell, right?
Yes. You'd have some rocks in your hand. You have whatever your weapon of choice is, maybe.
And yeah, my bow's on my back, but
Okay.
I'll I'm thinking it could be good if I ram him. I ram forward through him and hopefully hit the bell on the other side.
Okay,
That's the
yeah, you'll
idea.
have to jump up. I see the bell being a little bit higher than the apex of the roof.
Well,
'cause
I
it's
have
a tower.
haphazardous leap.
And you could
So-
so you're just gonna plow right through him and hit the bell. That sounds like 2 actions. So let's do one at a time. It's fine. It sounds like you're
Okay.
trying to accomplish 2 things. One is ram through this guy, and the other is to get up on the roof.
Sure.
All right.
So we're gonna do haphazardous leap first as a tractor quick.
We're gonna do tracked, and let's do your ramming first before you do your leap.
Oh,
up to
ram
the
first.
bell. Yep.
You're right. Okay.
All right, so you're gonna ram them, and that sounds good to me. So let's see how your roll is. Ooh. All right. So you're going to just absolutely blast through him and knock him off the roof. He goes tumbling down like a little Rubik's Cube. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Just doesn't roll very well, and hits the
Hey.
ground down by Stape. And now make your leap up to the bell.
Okay. Tractor quick.
Let's do. So you want to, the outcome you're looking for is that you want to begin ringing the bell in
Should be tracked then, because
in a odd, like throw off their ringing of the bell, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, again, because you're so sore and bruised, you make your leap up there, but you don't. You're doing all you can to kind of keep your balance once you get up there. It wasn't a big leap or anything, but there isn't a lot of place for you to be. These 2 guys are banging on the bell. As you get
imagine
up
I'm
there,
grabbing at their ankles and then kind of kicking back at me, like.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so where's my... I can't see anything in this fog. It's terrible. It's too accurate. Oh, maybe if I bring this thing up. Let's see, where is it? The tracker. Okay. There he is. All right. So, not what I was looking for. Okay. So, you see from your vantage point now up at the top of this tower, you see the dancers still going on the bridge. And you see something really, really odd. The bridge looks like it is forming out of this faint gray glow around the, so you can, because you're above where the mist is rolling around on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see the bridge, which is also kind of above the mist where the dancers are. And the bridge is almost like growing. It's extending. And there's some grayish glow, so a really faint glow around these stones that are appearing as the bridge begins to, like, they're like filling in the bridge. They're rebuilding the bridge out of some kind of ghostly material, right? Your mind harkens back to the story that was told earlier that night, where the man wandered out to the bridge. The bridge became ghostly again, and he walked out onto it, and then fell into the rivers, never seen again. Isn't that the story that we were told last session?
Mm-hmm.
So this bridge is reforming in a ghostly fashion. It's like coming by. So even when the stones are in place, they continue to hold this faint glow of dark energy as the bridge begins to build. All right. So you seem to have some choices here. You can take care of the guys that are banging on the bell since you're up here with them, or you can just bang the bell with them and try to throw them off and whatever it is they're trying to do. You're not really sure, but it sounds like that may be part of what's affecting the dance, and you could throw the dance off with that, perhaps. Okay? So there's a couple of those things that you can do. Think about that. I will present a threat to you when we come back. Meanwhile, at the burning house, Davrim has presented another rain barrel. Brutus, you've got a little guy in one hand who's trying to bite you because he doesn't have anything. Like his claws are scratching at your hand. He wants to be let go. You can choose to deal with him, or you can try to get this barrel. The rain barrel is still pretty heavy. It's not like a one-hander. You still got to pick it up and do things, but you have to probably do it with two hands. So if you do that, you might have to let the little guy go unless you can figure out a way to keep him captive while you do that. What do you do?
Okay. So I'm looking between the Sablekin in my hand and Davrim bringing the rain barrel, and I gotta think: is the dance happening within view of me?
These guys have brought you further away. And this may not really occur to you at the moment, but no, you can't see the bridge from here. They've kind of taken you further away from the bridge by setting these houses on fire.
Gotcha.
That might occur to Davrim while he's wondering why the hell people haven't been using water. These barrels are freaking full and they're heavy.
Then I'm gonna quickly throw the Sablekin. The bonfire is still in the middle, right?
Yeah, that's a ways away. You've run up
Okay.
the street a little bit, right? So 3 or 4, 5 buildings, and then another couple of buildings as they were starting to set the next one on fire, and you grabbed him. So you're like 10 buildings away from the town. You can see the bonfire, but it's quite a ways away, right? It's, I don't know, a couple of 100 feet at least.
Then, oof.
You want to throw them into the fire? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, either at the fire or at the dance to try to stop it, because I remember the voice saying to stop the dance.
Yeah, so it would then occur to you then that these guys, you can't see the dancers anymore. You could kind of from the square, but you've been pulled away far enough you can't even see the bridge.
All right. then I'll just throw it in that general direction. Hope for the best.
Alley-oop. Okay. So let's do a
Oop,
tracked
just toss
outcome.
that thing. Test outcome.
Tracked, yeah.
Trapped. Okay. Strength. Oh, since I remember, would always thinking ahead apply?
I'm not sure how this is thinking ahead. I know your original thought was, yeah, sure, because you were thinking like maybe I could throw him at the dancers, and then that's when you realized that. Yeah, go ahead and add that. It's fine.
Okay. And then, yeah, any other weaknesses?
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
All right, go for that. Some good rolls today.
Ooh.
But yeah, so that's a succeed. You throw him. You just launch him like a trebuchet. Woof! He goes flying through the air, and you can hear what might sound like a little 2-foot tall scream, and he lands into the side of a building, and kind of breaks part of a window, and he hits part of the window, part of the building, and just goes bleh, and then falls
My
down to
forge!
the ground. Right?
Oh, was that your place?
You just pitched him, and you weren't aiming for anything. So there's your accidental damage that you've caused. You've created another. But now you've got this roof on fire. So now you need to try to take care of that, and then we're gonna hop back over to Stape.
Now I will grab the barrel Davrim has given me and use that to put out the fire.
Now, by the way, I think everybody has. Oh, just Elder Stape. We haven't. Hold on. We should bring Cherry up here as well. So let's see. Go ahead, do your roll. I'm doing my own thing. I was talking out loud. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, we don't have one for Cherry.
Green barrel. No breaking. Where's my gosh?
Okay.
Can I assist with this?
Yes. Don't roll. Cancel your roll. What is
Oh,
it?
cancel.
Yeah, and then do it again.
Okay.
Well, we're kind of working together to put out this fire, so I want to use strength and unity.
Good. Okay. So
And I just want to contribute that tag to his
that sounds good.
check.
Yep. Makes sense. All right. So start your roll again. Put your tags back in, and then what we have to do is open Davrim sheet and find strength and unity. And rain barrel's a plus, so we'll add it as a plus. There you go. Okay.
Okay.
Well, good thing.
Yeah.
So again, there's damage to the building, and what I'm going to do is I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to, for your consequence, you put the fire out, but I'm going to do something here. Let's see. I'm going to add a level to your gash. We'll say that you've torn your cut open more. So it's, now you get blood is kind of going down your leg a little bit. You're wounded. It's not enough to take you out by any stretch, but we'll say that that's your consequence.
Oof.
Yeah.
So I throw this thing, just hear a rip, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Meanwhile, back near the town center, on the roof of the town hall, Fyfe is sharing a bell tower with two other little guys. And one of them looks quite threateningly at you. And he is going to whip out his old razor claws, kind of shakes out his hand like Wolverine does, you know, and he's going to come take a swipe at you with these claws. What do you do? He's lashing out.
Gonna be attacked.
So you can take an action that you think will address that particular threat, or you can choose to do something completely different and ignore the threat. Those are kind of the big two things you can do. If you really want to accomplish something, you can ignore the threat, right? And then you'll just take the consequence when I hit you with it. But it really depends on the success of your action, whether I hit you with your consequence, right?
Yeah. I don't think I really have any like tags that can help me to mitigate these consequences, so I think I'll more so accept them and try to do something else.
Okay, what is it you're going to do?
I am going to like take the attack and try to pull up and start to ring the bell like with whatever the hell I have.
You still have stones in your hand still. You could hit the bell.
Yep,
with
I still
those.
have stones, you know,
Even if she'll
so I
hold
can
on to
throw
it,
that
you can
at
just-
it and start like banging on the
Yeah.
the bell. And I think I'd like to use maybe the insight tag that I got last session to try to create a rhythm that might mess them up the most right now, since I'm seeing a connection between those two things.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
So insight, and we didn't create the stones tag. I don't know if I am supposed to have one or not.
You would. They haven't been important to the story, so if you want to make them important, then you need to create the tag.
It's all good then. So we'll do insight and maybe creative mind.
Okay. Because you're trying to suss out the rhythm or whatever it is you're trying
Precisely.
to do. Gotcha.
Something, you know, how to make this action the most successful possible to mess up their song, their dance, and the impending creation of the bridge that they're working on by doing it.
Okay. Okay, so with a 10, you would succeed without consequences. So
I've
you-
already accepted the other consequences.
Exactly. So you're going to take gashed 1.
'Kay.
So let's.
I can add that for
I
you.
think if I click here, send to chat, you might be able to even just drag that gashed 1 that's highlighted onto your character sheet.
Drag? Where do I
You see
drag
the
it
chat,
from?
From the chat.
I can only see like the last thing in the chat. Maybe if I do this. There we go.
You see
Add.
gashed 1,
Hey, yeah, I did it.
and you just dragged it from the chat onto your sheet, and that worked, right? Or did
Yeah,
you just add it yourself?
Oh, there's the trash button. No, I dragged it. It worked.
Cool. That's one of the reasons why I try to preload sheets with those kind of things, but just that way you just drag and go, right? All right, so then interesting. We've got, but you've succeeded, and you have a power of 2. So you can create a tag with that, or
I think disrupt would be the effect I'm looking for. How much
Okay.
power? 1 or 2?
cool. Yeah, if it's a status, it would be tier 2. So
Yeah.
I think that would be because disrupted 2. So
Disrupted 2.
yeah, this as
I'm gonna be yelling down like, they need a song to dance! They need a song! I'm trying to yell down at the people below.
all right. So have you? Let's see. All right, I'm going to then. I'll go ahead and add a scene tag for you, and it will be disrupted 2. So you can see that. Okay. All right.
Disrupted. Hell yeah.
Nice. Good job, Jim. Good job. I can't even edit it anymore because
Who cares? We know what it is.
disrupted.
Mhm.
Oh, now I gotta. No.
Now honor's on the line, huh?
Right. I have a reputation to uphold.
Mm-hmm.
Disrupted. 21. There we go. Are we happy now? Are we good? I'm
Yep.
kidding. Awesome. All right. So you have begun to disrupt the bridge dance. So these are opposing statuses. So right now your disrupted exceeds their bridge dance. So you're kind of affecting. This is the bridge dance is kind of what we call a countdown, which if it reaches a certain level, then they have succeeded in reforming their ghostly bridge, and you're disrupting that. So, all right, so you're gonna hang up there, but this is I think as long as you keep messing with their music, you're going to keep that status, but I'm going to reduce it if you stop doing what you're doing. Okay, it's going to start to go down as them not being disrupted anymore, and they're getting back into the groove of whatever they're doing. Right? Okay. All right. So with that, you guys can hear this odd bang, ba bang, 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 and then it goes ba bang, ba bang, ba bang, ba bang, ba bang, and starts now sound more like what he's doing is turning it actually into a real song. It was really chaotic before. It just
And this is
sounded
how
like,
Fyfe invented jazz.
that's right.
In
Exactly.
this
So he's actually you're restoring a true rhythm to what they're trying to do when they're just hitting on it seemingly randomly, right? And now you're turning it into a song. And so that does seem to disrupt what's going on in that weird broken dance on the you can see them over there while you're doing it. You glance over at the bridge and it's kind of messing with their dance. They're trying to stick to it and it's messing with their dance. Okay. It's now turning into the boot scootin' boogie. All right. So very good. And more of these little guys, you've noticed that they are taking, now that the second house has been set on fire, basically, you've noticed these guys are trying to take you away from the center of town, or the town square, rather. It's not in the center, it's close to the bridge. And they've been leading you away from dealing with the bridge. Now that this has occurred to you, do you want to continue to suss out where these guys are and prevent them from setting the next house on fire? Or do you risk heading back to try to deal with whatever's going on in the town square and beyond? So Davrim, let me ask you that first, and then I'll ask Brutus as well.
if I have a greater context of kind of what's going on around me now, can I remove the disoriented status?
Yeah, let's roll to remove that as you
Okay.
are kind of sorting out what's going on. They've had you distracted. It's a great idea. So yeah, just as a point of mechanics, anytime you can remove a negative status, you should. If you can narratively,
Well, I'm
like he just said, now that I'm starting to figure out what's going on, can I remove disoriented? And that's perfect. Um, that's a perfect way to take a negative status off of you. Is that kind of thing. So go ahead and let's do that. Do you have disoriented?
I added
on you?
our village just because it seems like, he's familiar with everything and everyone in town, so that kind of goes with being familiar and getting oriented to what's going on, what's important,
Right. Okay, go ahead.
where everything is.
So a success would give you a power to reduce that. But no, you're again more distracted by these things that are whipping through the fog, and you're worried about what they'll burn next or what other damage they might do. What animals?
Okay, and the house is still on fire, right?
No, it's been put out, but you're now thinking,
Okay.
where are they going to attack next? If you leave, something's gonna burn down, right?
Right.
So that's
Yeah.
you weren't able to remove that. So Brutus, you
Do I have another consequence?
yeah, let's amp up your disorientation.
Okay.
You can just hit the plus next to that and level it up one. I just add one. So hit the plus and then click one, and it'll make it a 2.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. 2.1. What the heck? Okay. All right, Brutus, on you, sir.
I think the first thing I need to take care of is the gash on my leg. Either if I'm gonna go try to put out the next fire or go after the bridge, I need to do something about this gash. So is there anything I can kind of like wrap the gash around?
Yeah, you can
Wrap
like use your shirt or something like that.
Add a little fan service and rip my shirt.
Ooh.
I'll just rip off a sleeve.
12-foot tall.
Oh my
teddy bear.
goodness.
Yeah. Fan service. Okay, so very good. You go ahead and grab that. And so now go ahead and normally what we would do, I think, is we would create a tag. So you'd roll to create a tag, but I'm just going to throw that in there because you've got. I think it's obvious you're wearing clothes, and now you're not wearing clothes or less clothes.
Mm.
So
Yeah, he is.
right. Well, this is a family-friendly game. All right. Let's keep it.
I
Just
didn't
sleep,
say
I
anything.
swear.
I didn't say anything.
TV 14.
I just think I was agreeing with you.
I'll rip off my pants. No. All right. So go ahead and you're gonna
Tear away.
deal with the gash. Right. Exactly. Magic Brutus. Oof. Okay.
That mitigate
Alright, so-
consequence?
No. You're just gonna make a tracked roll, tracked outcome.
Okay.
And put in tags that you're going to use to take care of this wound. And if all you've got is your shirt sleeve, then that's all you're going to get. So I'm going to.
What about my home remedies as a farmer? Surely I've been cut and gashed before.
Absolutely, that makes sense. Yep. All right, and so.
And always thinking ahead because I'm thinking I need to do this before I help anyone.
Okay. All right. Approved. Go.
All right, let's see.
So you have
All
power
right.
3. You're going to get rid of gashed 2 completely. So you can hit the
Oh.
minus sign next to gash 2. Can you do that? And then put if you put 3, then it's going to take 3 away, which will
Like that?
I think
Yep.
there's also just delete
Yeah.
status button.
you
Oh.
can do that, but I'm trying to. We're working through the mechanics of the sheet for future, and that's instead of me doing it. Normally, I would just do it, and I would probably delete it and whatever. But in
I
this
mean, for
case-
us, there's a little trash can. There's a little delete status. You can just
yes, you could do that too. But I was trying to teach that you can reduce a status by 1 or 2, right, and how to do that. So perfectly fine. That, yeah. So obviously, you've exceeded the gash status. You've tied yourself. You may have, probably had to use 2 sleeves, and so you've tightened it up, you've cinched it down, and you're good. All right.
Right on.
So, you hear now music, because what Fyfe is doing on the bell is he's adding extra beats to their chaos to create actually a bong 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 bong, and he's maybe even trying to, because of his insight, he's trying to fashion it into one of the songs that he's heard the village sing. It's only one tone, it's one note. It doesn't go up or down, but it's like the same rhythm of this song. So you've heard it turn from chaos to something more organized, and now you are here. You've gotten rid of the one guy that you've thrown, and you've repaired your gashed wound.
maybe we
Fyfe.
could have Sleepy recite the lullaby. Recall she got her lullaby she found.
Yeah. So speaking of Sleepy, what do you think?
Cherry.
Right, Cherry. So I think Cherry might spend time trying to create some tags, some things that might be helpful. But I haven't thought of those yet, and I'm not in player mode. All right, so Davrim, you're trying to suss out where these guys are going to attack next, and you've kind of gotten a little disoriented in the process, because you hear them here and you hear them there and you hear them darting around you. You've seen what they've done to Brutus. You know that they have these weapons and claws that are very sharp. So you're a little worried that they may attack you now with razor claws. And so they the Sablekin chitter and howl, raising a frenzy and rallying others. So what do you do about that? It looks like they're trying to gather more to where you are, like they're calling out.
Okay. I think I will help with that. Yeah, so I'm basically screaming in challenge at them. I draw my hammer. I want them coming away from the town and toward me.
Okay. All right. Come on, you! And whatever, like.
Yeah.
Howl all you want. All right, so the scene is going to gain a tag against you called Lurking Predators. Can I just put it up here? Does that work? It does not work. Okay. All right. So these guys certainly begin to bark at you from different directions, and they're kind of growling.
Taking random swings with my hammer and into the mist.
All right. So I think
Doesn't seem to be working.
that's the next step. They are going to attack you, and I think they're going to try to overwhelm you. Excuse me. What they're going to do is they're like trying to surround you. They're looking for weaknesses. They're looking for the prime moment to attack. What do you do, Davrim?
I'm trying to just keep them. I'm trying to swing at any that come close and to keep them at bay, but at the same time, like keep them all distracted with me.
Cool. All right.
So I'm engaging them.
So I think what you're trying to do is you want to whittle down their frenzied instincts, right? So that would be your attack. You're trying to just whack them and take some out. You can see them here and there, so you need to try and attack. So
yeah. So whenever I see like a clump coming together, I like swing in that direction.
Yeah. Perfect. That's great. So let's do that. You're going to try to take them on and hit them for all their worth and knock them out or beat them up or whatever. Like you're trying to gather them to you and then just wipe them out. So let's see if you can do that. The consequence, if you take one, is going to be that they have kind of overwhelmed you a little bit. So, and then Brutus is near you, so if you take that consequence, then he can deal with that. He can remove that consequence from you. He could even try to affect your disoriented state, right? So things Brutus can do to try to mitigate some of those consequences. So go ahead and roll. Let's see what you can do.
All right, is Brutus helping me with this, or is he distracted doing something else?
I think I fixed my leg.
Okay,
so.
Yeah, he was working on his leg. He kind of crouched down and ripped off his sleeves, flexed his muscles, and then wrapping up his bruises. So you can, if you want, to throw a tag in to help? You can do that, like clobber.
Sure.
All right. So go ahead and bring up your attack, and I will add clobber in for you. Bring up your roll. I think one of the things that I like to see for players to do is do the tracked outcome and execute move. That brings up your little move window, and then move that away from your sheet so your sheet doesn't go over the top of it when you click on your sheet. And then click on tags in your sheet.
Unfortunately, I can't do that.
Because you popped out your sheet?
Yes, possibly.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. Then just go ahead and click your tags.
It's creating too many windows. Like, I might have to turn my camera off. Like, my computer's barely functioning right now.
Oh, okay. All right. So, clobber. There's clobber. We'll add that in. And I am throwing your disoriented back at you. So go ahead and
okay, yeah, that sounds good.
Roll, because that's part of their move. You're kind of getting the idea that they come in, they disorient you, and then they start whittling you down so that their attacks, their claws can actually do some harm. All right.
Okay.
Make that roll.
What am I actually trying to do here?
I think you're trying to
effect-wise.
Your effect.
Is this a mitigation?
No. It's a tracked out.
Okay, no. I'm just preventing it.
They have a track that's called frenzied something. Hold on.
Okay, so I'm trying to disrupt that. Okay.
Yeah. And then that will make them flee, right? Or you kill them in the process. I don't care. The story may play out. Okay, cool. So you're just going to suffer overwhelmed. There were too many of them, and even with the giant playing whack-a-mole, it didn't.
Okay.
Coach too.
I'm going to send overwhelmed 1 to the chat. You can drag that onto your sheet, and that will be something that adds to probably your disoriented, elevate your disoriented to overwhelmed. I don't know if that'll work, but try dragging it on your sheet and see.
I think it's working.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take disoriented 2 away and make overwhelmed 3. Okay, so you're overwhelmed 3. So if we get you to 5, you're going to be like worn out and like you're out of the fight, right? They've managed to, they'll have taken you out of the fight by overwhelming you and probably just like slicing you up a little bit or something with little cuts. Death by 1,000 cuts kind of thing. All right.
Okay.
So Brutus, you see that they are spinning the blacksmith around. Davrim is trying to hit. He can't hit a damn thing. And there's just more seeming to gather in the mist. There's even more of them. What do you do?
I rush over to Davrim because he's the first thing I see, and I try to swat away all the
gremlin
Sablekin
things.
Right?
Yeah, they.
So is there any tool you want to use for that? I'm assuming you don't have your hoe because this was a little celebration. You probably didn't bring your hoe to that. Is there something you want to grab around you to help you do that?
I'm going to grab Davin and try to pull him out.
You're
And
swing Davin around to hit all the guys?
no, I'm going to pull him out and try to run off with them to get away.
Okay, you're just going to grab Davin and run. All right, very good. So
He pulls me out of this pile of Sablekin.
exactly. Like,
I thought you start swinging.
like shake them off like ants.
Right.
You okay, Davrim? Right, I got it. All right, you grab him. So make your roll. Let's see how successful you are. If you aren't, then what's going to happen here is the Sablekin are going to. I should really pop that out. Let me do that. Sablekin. If you have more than one monitor, maybe you've already figured out you can pop out your character sheet into a different window, and that way you can see the screen while you're messing around with your character sheet.
Maybe.
Oh yeah, you easily break things, so you might actually do some harm to Davrim while you're trying to swat away all of the little leeches that are all over him. Lift a heavy load. Whoa, Davrim, you are a heavy load. All right, that's fine. And you're strong.
I guess any person.
For sure. You can accidentally break things. You're helping those in need. You're defending the weak. Oh, not only are you a heavy load, this sounds like we're playing Portal 2. You're a heavy load, but you're also weak. I like that. Okay.
Well, he's disoriented and being overwhelmed, so right now he is.
Right. Okay, I say go for it. I think that's a good. All those tags are great.
Here we go.
Ta-da!
All right.
I wish the text would, like when you roll before I look at the dice. Okay, I like to see the dice, and it's already put the cards over in the chat, and I don't even see that they appeared. I'm like, where? I'm trying to scroll down to get to it. It's like right there. So with an 11, that's a great success. So you have a power of 2. And so you're going to probably use that to remove his overwhelmed status down to 1.
Yep.
So Davrim, you can drop that status down by 2, and you leap back out into the street with Davrim. You're kind of between these two buildings that one was being set on fire, and you leap back out into the street and start carrying him like a. Is it like a fireman's carry, or is it like a baby?
Over the shoulder, kind of.
So fireman's kind of.
I'm picturing it like carrying a puppy by the neck.
Yeah.
No, full bridal style, like.
Right.
Without the
probably makes
shirt
more
too,
sense.
man. The fan service galore going
Fire
on.
in the background.
Yeah, fire in the back. Yeah, cool guys don't look at explosions.
Amazingly, you didn't hurt him in the process. That would be one of the consequences of your role, would be inflicting some kind of harm on Davrin. But you didn't. You didn't.
Consequence right now would be if Fyfe sees us.
It would distract him. Distracted Fyfe. Gotcha.
Lovely.
Fyfe, these guys are going to try to call others up to the bell tower to stop you. So they're doing the same kind of thing while they're clanging on the bell and you're turning it into music very irritatingly. They begin to bark and call down more of these others to their aid. You've knocked one off the roof onto the ground. He's out.
Yeah.
But the others are coming.
You might have to call in your own allies.
They are starting to climb up the church. You see like 4 or 5 of them climbing up the
I mean,
church.
I was yelling down, but you guys are like dealing with the burning building and stuff. You know, you guys got your thing. I had an idea. I'm willing to accept, you know, that. Okay, because what I'm doing right now, this disruption, if I don't continue it, then they keep
It'll
going.
begin to
I want to
fade,
make
right?
I want to make the disruption worse. So
Good, okay.
I want to get that disruption to like, you know, tier 5, right? I want to get that the full way.
You want to kick him off, like kick one of the guys off the tower or something? What do you want to do?
Well, that'll be more mitigating because I don't know if I'm able to continue with my thing and also kick him.
Sure. No, you can do that. I mean, that may be just part of the story. You're still going to make your role of making the disruption worse, right?
Because I had a lot of tags that I think could apply in various ways.
Go for it.
So, and also a weakness. So, oh, look, a butterfly is weakness because seeing them carrying bridal style very well may worry me and distract me from what I'm doing.
Yes.
Infectious positivity, I think, after I've already started the disruption, could be good since I'm actually making a song. Infectious positivity,
laugh. Maybe you're singing
creative
along.
mind. The insight that I had prior, same sort of thing there.
Right.
But then I was thinking about, because I really want to get this, burning when I'm most needed. My idea being that because I'd be so exhausted after all of this, that I wouldn't be able to be there for people.
Yep. You're burning creativity, right? Okay, good.
Burning when I'm most needed.
Oh, when you're needed. Okay, cool. Go for it. So you'll burn
you're
it
okay.
after.
So it's
when you accept, you can burn it. Don't
Sorry.
burn it now. Unburn it.
I already did. I think I can click the unburn tag button.
Correct. Because
Okay,
that will give
cool.
you. When I'm done approving, before you go ahead and roll, you can burn one of those tags, and that will give you the +3 you're looking for.
Yeah.
Okay, I am putting bruised 2 because that's higher of bruised and gashed.
Sure.
So you only get bruised 2. So I don't put, if I put gashed, the thing only lets you put, I mean, it lets you put them all in there, but the rules are you only take the highest negative
do your thing.
status.
It's all good. Can I, when I most need?
I was looking at the questions for your tags. I think that's good. Let's go ahead and approve all of those. All right, roll. Or do your burning.
All right.
Do your burning.
Well, I didn't do the burning yet because I thought you said you had to do it after.
No, before you roll, there's a place you burn a tag. So let's.
Oh yeah, I saw that. It was a drop down, but it didn't.
Exactly.
There was
It
no
should have
option.
one of the tags in the drop down, which one you burn.
Weird. I can just burn it now, and we can just pretend.
So we'll add 2 more
I'll burn.
to your roll.
Yeah.
So that's a 9. You're going to take consequences. And so one of the consequences that I'm going to give you is overwhelmed 1. These guys are starting to swarm you.
Oh, yeah.
So go ahead and drag that overwhelmed onto your sheet. We're going to use that to try to counter your future attempts. But you succeed with a effective power of 1. So we can add 1 more to the disruption.
Is that still true with the 9?
Yeah, you still succeed. Anything higher than a 6 will succeed. But 7 to 9, you'll also take a consequence. 10 and above, you don't take any consequences.
Okay.
So I'm going to add disruption. Was your status that you gave straight up disrupted too? Yeah. So here's the funny part. You didn't actually raise the track of disrupted any because 1 was open. So I added 1 to disrupt. So like on the track, imagine 1 through 5. You filled in the bubble for 2. But in this case, you only did 1 status. So now it fills in the bubble for 1. So
I thought it like adds on.
That's the thing about this engine is that if you roll lower than the status, like let's say it's disrupted 3 or 4, then but 2 and 3 are full, like you've already bubbled in 2 and 3, but then you manage to get a power of 4, so you go disrupted 4. It fills in 4. If you only get disrupted 1, it fills in the 1, so the status is still 4. But now any status you do will add. So like if it was 2, 3, and 4 filled in, and you rolled 2, 2 is already full, so it goes all the way to the right and fills in 5. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Only if you roll less than the total, like any open bubbles, they fill in, right? So in this case, disrupted, you continue to disrupt, but you're noticing that it didn't have a great effect. But you think if you keep it up now, it will definitely disrupt what they're doing.
All right.
But you're a little overwhelmed at this point. These things are crawling up and kind of getting at you. You're moving around. Imagine yourself kind of ducking and dodging, trying to kick one guy off, and all this kind of stuff. And it's not really working well for you right now. Okay. So back to the bride and groom. No, I'm kidding. It's a fireman's carry, so it wouldn't be like that. All right, so Davrim, you're up on the shoulder. As you are going through the mist, these guys are trailing after you. They're chasing you. They're going to continue to do that, but in this time, they're going to. You notice as they go through the mist, they kind of fade into the mist here and reappear over there. Maybe it's a different guy, but it could be the same guy. In this case, these guys are actually going to try to ambush you right out of the mist and try to lash out with their claws. So this could present you with another gash as they're trying to like hamstring you or cut into your calves and stuff like that to try to stop you from running so fast. What do you do? Mr. Brutus.
I think I kind of turn and try to swat them away with a back fist.
Okay.
If they're jumping out at me.
All right, so you're going to try to attack them back and knock them away and get rid of them. Gotcha. All right, so
Can I try to assist?
how do you think you'll assist from a shoulder up there? What are you going to do?
Swing my hammer. as any that jump at him.
Okay. All right, sounds good. All right, so go ahead and let's add your tag in. Brutus, go ahead and start your move. And when that window pops up, we'll add in a tag
Allure.
from Davrim.
Clobber. Accidental breaking.
All right. So the accidental breaking might be you breaking something else besides the Sablekin.
Right.
That's why it comes down to a weakness for you. All right. So
And-
Davrim, which one are you going to do?
Better with my hammer?
Okay.
And since I am, in a way, defending Davrim, would that work?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm adding in Davrim's weakness as well of quality can't be rushed because he's trying to just knock it out of the park. He's swinging for the fences, and so this may actually make him miss. So we got defend the weak, strong as an ox, and clobber, and Oh,
His muscle
I-
memory is used to a certain technique, and he can't bring that to bear right now.
Yeah, but you're very easy to exploit, giant, because
Mm.
they can get right in to your. Okay, so we're
Right.
gonna go for that. That is not going to be
my
a
neck.
very strong attack, but it's possible.
Yeah.
That this,
All right.
this could
Let's
do it.
see. Oh.
Oof.
Ooh.
Oof.
All
Ah.
right.
Big
that-
oof.
you are slashing away at them, clobbering, swinging. You got the hammer flying, and in the end, you're going to take gashed 1 again. So go ahead and drag that on your sheet and take gashed 1.
There we go.
So the drawback to contributing tags to help someone is that you're putting yourself in the same situation, so the narrator can potentially say the consequences also apply to you.
Yeah, in this case, I don't think so because you're up on the shoulder. You're a little bit
Okay.
higher than them, but you're trying to swing for the fences while you're trying to hit him. So you just really actually made some of his movements more clumsy because you got this really strong swing. You didn't hit anything, but you kind of made his attack a little worse. So he ended up getting gashed. I think you're up and away, and I don't think you'll take any status with this. All right, Fyfe, back to you on the church tower. Elder Stape is down below. Can you think of a way he might be able to help you in your next attempt to disrupt further? Does he have a tag that you think might help?
You gotta step away real quick. I'll be right back.
Yep, no problem.
I mean, we've burnt all of his tags. I think he only has one tag left. Because I think he was gathering
let's-
everybody to the town hall.
Yeah, yeah. And
Um,
so why don't you let's have him
I
generate
think I
a
might be
tag that
fucked.
will
I
help
don't
you.
know.
You don't have.
I have an
shit.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cherry's probably been with all the people, right? Maybe she's like gather them together and come up with some kind of plan.
Sure. So
She's
this
definitely
would
a
be
thinker.
make a tagless roll, Fyfe, to see if Cherry and Stape can generate some tags. I'm gonna add-
Tagless roll.
yeah, so you just go
Alright.
ahead and make a tracked outcome and hit execute. There'll be no tags. Okay, so that is going to generate. We're going to say a power of 1, because neither of those guys had tags really that could help. But with a power of 1, we can generate a quick, a crispy tag for you to use to disrupt. So we can just say help from below. Or
They're throwing
something.
rocks.
Yeah, they're doing something. They're trying to kick
Yeah.
away people. These little guys that are climbing up and trying to rip them off the building. So I'm just going to put help from below and make that a temporary tag that you can use in your roll. So go ahead. You're going to continue to try to raise that disrupted up higher to block what they're doing.
Do I have the spotlight?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's yours. Knock
Okay.
yourself out. So you've had the spotlight the whole time, but you all have talked about, hey, let's give Cherry and Alderman
Sure.
a chance to make a tag to help you, and that's what happened.
Am I able to do something? I guess I was more asking.
Yes, absolutely. What do you want to do?
So I'm doing this. It's definitely helping overall, but I'm worried that it's not doing enough. I do have my bow. I think I'd like to stop, kind of lean on one of the pillars of the
Yep.
tower there, and pull that out and try to find the guy with the staff and see if I can fire and hit the staff that he's doing.
Do you want to try to shoot the guy on the bridge? You could probably make it.
Shoot his staff, but yeah.
Okay. So now you're trying to, yeah, good. All right, go for it.
Yeah, I think that would just be marksman at this point. I would argue insight.
Yep.
Because I've made a roll prior using a round to kind of see how this was working or what they were doing. Your call.
Yeah, go for it. I'm good with that.
Okay.
All right. You're no longer. I'm going to add gashed one in as
Totally.
a negative to you, and let me
Mhm.
see if. Okay. You get help from below. Turn that into a positive. Anything else? Let's see. What else can we use?
I don't think there's
negatives
anything
those
else on
guys?
my sheet that would help.
And the fact that you've disrupted them would be a good negative
Sure.
status for you to use. And all right, I will confirm all. Go ahead and make that roll. Oh no! All those good rolls are coming back to haunt you with bad rolls.
I think I'm falling off the tower here.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I think you can manage it well enough that you're not going to take any harm, but your consequences. I'm taking away the fact that you're up on the tower. You're not there anymore. You've lost your balance. You're going for the long shot to get the guy on the thing.
Rocks are coming up. One of them maybe hits me. Yeah.
Right, and so you fall off and you tumble down the roof. Let's mitigate. Let's mitigate that consequence of like being back down on the ground. So roll a mitigate roll to see if you can catch yourself on the way down. You just can't use any of the same tags that you used for your action.
Haphazard leap would mitigate.
Sure. Yep. And this would leave you kind of up, and I'm going to give you bruised as a minus. So you need to roll well, otherwise you're on the ground.
Yep.
That would be
Nope.
That would be not rolling well.
Nope. I'm all good with it. Let's do it.
So you're on the ground, but you're not suffering the consequences. The consequence is being all the way on the ground. So you land in a Spider-Man crouch, but you don't quite. You're just no longer able to disrupt. So that's going to.
You ever seen a cartoon when someone lands really hard and then there's like a reverberation that goes up the body?
Right.
You know?
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. All right. So you two running down through the street. You're almost ready to get. You're going to enter the town square now, with Davrim still on your shoulder. You're trying to swat these things away from you while you're trying to make progress toward the town square.
Should I increase bruised?
No, I don't think that's I don't think that's warranted. I thought about it, but I thought that instead what you were doing was mitigating, and rolling a 2 on your mitigation means it just didn't work, right? You didn't mitigate, so you would take the full consequence, which is all the way on the ground. So you're going to have to spend actions getting back up on the roof or find another way to disrupt the dance. All right. All right, so these guys are going to continue to attack you with their razor claws. They are lashing out. They have a lot of tags that are going to count against you. What do you want to do as these guys start to... They're now going to start swarming your legs. You were not successful in getting them off you. And they're kind of like grabbing onto your leg, you know, like a kid is grabbing onto the leg, you know, stuff like that. And they're trying to just stop you from running back toward the town. It seems their mission is trying to stop you. So they're going to attempt to do more... I think it's more an attempt to stop you than harm you right now. So what is it you want to do?
Should we keep trying to swat them away and run.
Put the blacksmith down.
But I guess I'll put you down. We'll make her stand.
All right. So you're going to.
Where I make my stand.
Yep. All right. Good. Then go ahead and you're trying to attack these guys and get them off you.
Are the three of us together now, or are we still quite a
No,
distance apart?
You're not in the town square. Excuse me, not in the town square yet. And you are running toward the town square, trying to get there. And you've now stopped to deal with this threat of these guys kind of overwhelming you and
Overwhelming us. Okay.
Yep.
Yep. So lift you up, put you down.
Yep. So you just shrug him off your shoulder, and he lands on the ground. And so I'm going to give you a chance, Brutus, to roll, and then I'm going to give you, Davrim, a chance to roll. So you're each going to have your own action and consequences. So, but it's the same kind of attack on both, that same threat on both of you. All right. So Brutus, go ahead and make your roll.
Okay.
If you take consequences.
So this is the swat the Sablekin.
Yep. You're trying to whack all the Sablekin away. Squish it
Where's
or whatever.
my gash?
Yep. They're also going to use that lurking predators against you. And they are
Wood?
pack hunters. So anything else you've got that you could do, you're getting overwhelmed by these guys.
Wood, accidental breaking, and easy to exploit.
Yep. You want me to
Two weaknesses here?
Into positives. You're just now
Positive.
You're now oh no, easy to exploit would be a good negative for you, but I think I'll add your other negative and make it a positive. Because now I think you're getting almost maybe a little panicked by all of these critters all around you, and so you're really just kind of going all out, right?
Right.
You are trying to.
I'm minding. Right. I am trying to break them.
Yeah. All right. So I think that's good. I'm going to approve all of those. Go ahead and, unless you want to burn a tag, you can just go ahead and make your roll.
What can I burn?
Any of your power tags, not your weaknesses. You can't burn a weakness. So on that little window, there's a little drop down, and you can pick a tag, and that will give you a +3 for the tag instead of +1. But then it'll take that tag away from you for the rest of the scene. We'll have to have a scene to unburn tags, right?
I'm not gonna burn any then.
Okay.
And
okay, well, with the 7, you succeed. It says
all right.
Power of 1, so you can inflict a status that will affect their frenzied instinct. What kind of status? Like you're whacking. So in other words, like demoralize would be a good status, because you're not getting rid of them all, but you are flattening a few of them. You're knocking a few of them away, and so these guys may be affected by that. Like they'll lose their morale and want to rout, and that's kind of what you're trying to get them away from you.
Okay, yeah.
So let's add I'm going to add a big status here for you of demoralize.
Nice.
And this is going to, oh boy, I wish I could type. Before I get criticized for another type. I'm kidding. I'm just teasing you. Demoralized. All right, so you're going to give him demoralized 1. Huh?
Nice. It's just funny how you said that.
Yeah, I just thought.
Demoralized.
All right, so that's my phonetics. All right. So you succeed in getting demoralized 1, but I'm going to give you an overwhelmed status. So if you drag that onto your sheet, if you already have overwhelmed, it'll move you to a 2. I don't know where you're at.
Just
just
overwhelmed.
You're good. Yep. So you'll just end up with overwhelmed 1. All right.
There.
Davrim, what are you doing to try to rout these guys? Like by killing them is certainly.
Yeah, pretty much what I've been doing is swinging my hammer every time they clump up. roaring in defiance.
All right, very good. All right, so you're swinging for the fences again.
So I'm going to go with good with my hammer and strength and unity. I'm picturing this as the oddest back-to-back fight ever, given our
Nice.
differences in size.
Yep. All right. So this quality can't be rushed is what you're taking big swings. You're trying to really be effective, but in this case it may actually work against you because of the number of these creatures. So strength and unity is good, and that's good. And oh, you're still overwhelmed. So that would be the status that I'm going to apply to you. And so let's approve all those. If you need to burn a tag, you could do that. Otherwise, roll it. All right. So that is not successful. You're going to suffer consequences. I'm going to give you overwhelmed. So you can drag that out of the chat into your character sheet. Oh, maybe if your character sheet's a different window. I think it still works. You just have to drag it further. All right, Fyfe, you're back down on the ground. You've got Cherry and Stape that were trying to help you. They're still trying to figure out what to do next. You're not up there to help anymore. So what do you do, Fyfe? And or those other player NPCs that are with you can weigh in on that. I will, if you want, while you're sort of forming what you're doing, I'm going to create an NPC for you for a Cherry.
Okay.
What you got in mind?
I'm just thinking, like, I'm thinking about a few different things, because it's unfortunate we do actually have someone musically inclined in the NPC list, but I am not aware that they're here.
Who's that?
I think what's I call him JP. He talked to Davrim.
Morgan? What?
Oh, our bard, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a traveling bard.
Okay, so you need to make him important to your story right now. So go ahead and
I don't know he's here, so I don't think I can do it. He's only talked to Davrim. Like I know him, but I don't know he's here. I never saw him at the festival. Let me move Fyfe down. Boof. Yeah, I think I'm gonna continue to try to do what I was before. I'm gonna get up. I'm not doing great. I have a bunch of people down here with me, so hopefully I cannot be gashed anymore. But yeah, I'm worried about that guy over by the bridge. I think that it would be. I feel like in my mind he's probably pretty far, so I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna try to hit that staff of his. To try not to lose the momentum. Trying to think here. Yep, it's the same roll as before. Okay. Now this is.
Marksman, insight. Okay, so you have 3 statuses, 2, 1, and 1. So I'm going to apply the highest level. Since this is, and what are you shooting with this?
My bow. I'm using marksman.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What was your target?
Oh, the guy at the back, the sort of guy who's doing all the mist and whatnot. He seems like the leader. I feel like that staff has something important to do with what's going on. He's right by the bridge growing, so I want to try to shoot that staff, break it or knock it out of his hands or something like that.
Okay.
Looking to disrupt him further.
Okay.
But just in a different way.
So in this case, the one you can see is up on the bridge. And so that's the guy doing the same. He's doing all the same things. And they're kind of doing this weird dance that doesn't have any, this is like this twisted dance. And he's leading them. So if you hit him, that would be good. All right. So I'm going to,
exactly.
This is because of your bruised, you're kind of at an even roll right now.
Yeah, I know. I know. Let's try it out.
All right, with the 6.
6.
That's not going to help. So that's still just a 6. So, let's see. So a good consequence. Usually I try to establish a consequence that you might take ahead of time. So I'm going to,
I'm okay with whatever you got. You know, you can blindside me. I don't care.
No, I think it would make sense for you to start to feel overwhelmed as well. I think you already have that, so this is going to ramp up your overwhelmed. So if you just drag that onto your sheet, it should give you an option to upgrade it, like add it to it. And it'll upgrade it for you.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so you're 2. And I think the 2.1 shows that the 1's filled in is what that is. So, okay. It may not be good. We'll see what happens next time you take it. I think it'll go to 3. All right. Creating an NPC thing is not a speedy thing to do, so I'm going to.
Yeah, I think Fyfe is like really hyperventilating, like really worried, seeing that like the efforts that we're having here are mitigating certain destruction, but that the larger effect, the larger goals of these creatures, whatever they are, that seem pretty imposing, pretty looming, are coming to pass, and there's a little bit of a freak out there. That's the overwhelm.
Yeah. All right, so cool. Back to the 2 trying to get to the town square. You stopped. You tried to deal with that. Didn't work so well. They are again moving toward you to increase your overwhelmed. They're again attacking like a pack of wolves, trying to surround you.
They're coming down the steeple to attack me, or
no? I'm talking to Brutus. Sorry, to the guys trying to get back into the town square. Okay. No, Brutus and Davrim, they are making their like they're reforming into surrounding you again and they're really trying to stop you from getting to the thing. So they are going to try to overwhelm you. Brutus, you first. What do you want to do?
Okay. They're distracted and reforming right now, right? Are we able to make our dash into the town square? Like, how far is it from?
So you have demoralized them some, but they are still trying to rally on you and attack you and keep you from running back toward the town square. So what is your goal here? What do you want to accomplish right now? Either they're going to continue to overwhelm you, or you're going to do something to deal with that by being offensive or running away, or right? So you're going to try to make some kind of action to either deal with the threat right with you or ignore it and keep going. Or do something.
I can look at Davrim like, what should we do?
The Horn of Valere right now would be handy, but you don't have that.
Let's see.
We have to press on.
Yeah. So I kind of grab Davrim and kind of hurl up and try to push through.
All right. And he grabs you like a backpack.
Throws you over my back.
Oof.
You probably got him underarm right now. You just kind of sweep him up and run with him. All right, let's make a roll with that, Davrim. You can.
Yeah, I'm not helping with that.
All right.
Nothing in his lifetime of experience has led him to develop a skill that would help with this.
Unless you don't want to be grabbed. That would be the...
No, I'm not going to resist. It's just...
Okay.
Honestly, I'm excited for us to lose and see what happens.
Right? Okay. So I'm taking off the 1 status because you only get your highest status against you that applies. Those
Oh,
both
okay.
would apply, but they're both ones. So I'm only going to leave you with one. You're strong as an ox. Very good. Anything else that you're going to try to do? Any other tags you think apply to you trying to get away?
Maybe that if I'm grabbing Davrim.
So you might do some harm to Davrim. Okay,
Right.
fair enough. All right,
And then
roll it. Or do
Okay.
or whatever you want to do. Okay,
Oof.
so not quite there. So I'm giving you overwhelmed, and I'm going to give Davrim, I think you need to get, I guess we'll just call it bruised, because he snatched you up. Or maybe let's do some different kind of harm to you. Let's give you kind of a grabbed, or what would be a good word for that? You've got, that way we're not adding. Let's see.
Is this like immobilized or
Something like that, where you're grabbed. He just grabbed you up, so you can't even use your
restrained?
hammer right now. So that's good.
Oof.
Well, how about grappled?
Not bad.
Maybe more
All right.
like it. Okay. So I've given you a grappled status that I can potentially use against you on things. So Davrim, you've got these creatures that are now also overwhelming you, because you are part of the Brutus mobility movement.
Pack.
Yeah, and so that's coming to you now. Now they're going to climb up on you or try to overwhelm you as well.
There's this huge pile of creatures on Brutus as he's running through town.
Well, and they're looking for a way to get in. They're trying to grab around his leg. They're trying to, that sort of thing. And then they're going to stick their claws into him if they can. They have to get on him first. So they're gathering. They're all around you on the ground. There's probably 6 of them or whatever, and they're trying to just stop you from going. So if they can overwhelm you, they can maybe get Brutus down to the ground, and you with him, etc. So now they're kind of overwhelming. Because of that whole same problem, we can add to your overwhelmed status if you can't figure out a way out of this.
Mhm.
So if you want, you can just try to mitigate being overwhelmed, or you can take some other kind of action and hopefully not have the consequence come with it.
You mentioned I can't swing my hammer. What?
You can, but not effectively. You've been
Gotcha.
grabbed around the torso, so your arms are like this, and so you could try to swing,
Right.
but that's
But
the
it
way
may-
I'm seeing it.
We may get a repeat of last time.
Yeah, you're under his arm, and you're just trying to swing.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. If any opportunities come up, I'm gonna take a swing at one
There
or two of
are
them.
opportunities, so go ahead. This is just playing out narratively. They're kind of starting to climb up him. They're trying to distract him, and you at the same time. They're trying to jump up, and then they kind of disappear into the mist, and then they show up over here. So imagine all this things going on simultaneously. It's very disorienting, overwhelming. So those are things that are going to play in on it, right? You're having a hard time finding a target, but you can swing. There'll be opportunities for you to do that. Let's see if you can instead do something that is going to take away their frenzied state, right? Like if you can turn the tide somehow, they'll rout. They're gone. So in other words, you just need to get them that status of demoralized will get them to leave, right? Like, oh crap, if I stay, then it will be bad. So they'll leave. So that's what we're trying to do, is get them to go away, right? That's
Right.
That's their
Or
track.
to at least clear our path.
Right. So that's their track, their spectrum, or limit is the right word. On the sheet, it still says spectrum, but they're already one toward that. So you are currently overwhelmed. And I'm going to put that grappled in as, oh wait, can't do that because your overwhelmed is already higher. Okay. Let's see. just going to add Mist Stalker as the other negative that goes with it. These guys are coming in and out of the mist. They're not presenting very good targets to you. Let's see. There are some that are on him, trying to climb up or hold on to his calves, you know, that kind of thing. And even then, they kind of move around and they fade through the mist, and they're kind of on the front of his shin, and then they're back around to the cat, you know, that kind of thing. So go ahead and make your roll unless you think you can do something else.
If that's the case, maybe I should focus on just the ones that are on him to prevent him from being overwhelmed.
What tag do you think would help with that? It's fine. Oh, you mean you want to reduce his overwhelmed?
I want to reduce his overwhelmed, and then that way their mist stalker wouldn't apply because they're not using the mist right now.
Okay. All right. So can you put that back up for my approval, maybe? Is there a button for you to do that? I can't remember.
Let me see. Nope, just cancel.
Okay.
And do it again.
Okay, go for it. Nice. So with
Hey.
You're gonna, let's see, have a power of 1, so you can remove one of his. So lower your overwhelmed by 1, Brutus, and instead Davrim is going to take it. So you can just hit the plus on your.
Like that?
Yep. So you're really overwhelmed now. Instead of 2, you're at a 3.
I like this dragging feature.
Yeah. Yeah, it is nice. All right. So, Fyfe, you've taken a shot up at the guy on the bridge. You can certainly...
Yeah, twice now. Not working.
Yeah.
Then you just keep trying until it works.
Yeah.
Third time's a charm.
that's how Davrim
Third
approaches
time is the
problems.
charm. I mean,
Is there
You know.
anything you can think of that might might help your chances? You could move closer. You could look for. And what I'm trying to do is figure out tags that you can maybe create first that might help you.
yeah, like I can try to ram the guy off the bridge
Or you have to run up onto the bridge.
if I run right at him.
Yeah. So.
Um,
And if you miss, you'll end up in the river, right? Maybe.
I mean,
That's
I
not
can
so bad.
you know,
Either way.
I know how to swim.
Oh, Fyfe knows how to swim. That's a question I was going to
Yeah.
ask. Do you know how to swim
Yeah, I know how to swim.
with cloven feet?
There's an idea. It's not. Well, I mean, have you ever seen a moose swim? They're amazing at it. They're actually terrifying. People can divers sometimes.
I
they
will
can
be
see
YouTubing that
them.
later.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's quite something. Anyway, yeah, I think that's my best idea here is running up because a range attack isn't helping with him. I mean, the insight's no longer helping. I can keep doing that, or I can use my bow to continue to attack the bell above. I can try that.
Okay. If you
Either
go
way,
after
it's only
the
a single
shaman,
thing.
if you run and charge up the bridge and try to knock him
Yeah.
off the bridge,
I
you'll
think
go
that one's the
over with
most
him.
dramatic.
But if you do that, then I will put in a tag against you, and that's the lurking predators. You're going to have to go through some other Sablekin
Oh, a bunch of them.
to get to him. They're up there
Mm.
dancing with him. So
Gotcha.
you'll have to kind
Yeah.
of go through those guys. They may present a negative factor in you getting to him. All right?
All right. Well, I'm just going to use my marksman and hit the bell then. Try
Okay.
try to not lose the disruption.
Or you can try to climb back up on top there to get back into your position.
Oh.
There's a lot of choices.
I mean, I don't want to fall. I mean, there's guys up there still,
Yeah.
so that's sort of the issue. I mean, I could. Oh,
If
that's
this sort of-
interesting.
If this sort of thing works, can the people that were throwing rocks earlier keep up the disruption, at least to maintain it?
Yeah.
Sure. Yep.
yeah, so they could help me with that. You know what? They're hurting me. They're hurting people. I'm going to, instead of firing at the bell, I'm going to fire at them, the two guys that are up there. Instead, try to bring them down, along with my friends with rocks.
Okay, so we'll assume that you have help from below, even though you are below too. They're also throwing rocks, so they're kind of trying to.
Yeah.
It makes them easier target because they're dodging rocks, so they're moving to a place that you maybe is a better aim for you. So I'll give you that tag you can use with it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
All right. So being overwhelmed is your strongest negative status. Anything else you can tag into there?
No, I was looking through it. I don't think I have anything particularly applicable.
All right. You get the help from below. And I'm going to throw in the demoralized 1 as a positive status. So you have your negative status, but you have a positive status that these guys are somewhat demoralized from all these other actions. I forgot to put that in on the other one. We need to remind me to do that. All right. And that sounds good. Oh, no.
5 or 6.
Oof.
All right. I'm going to... so I can either... I think that's fine. We'll just do that. We'll add to your overwhelmed status. Oh, no. No, don't do that. Taking that away. Instead, I'm going to move the bridge dance up 1. Okay?
All right.
Okay. All right. Brutus, Davrim is on the ground. No, still under your arm, and you're gonna try to run. You've kind of entered the edge of the town square. The bonfire's still going. Most of the people are out of the way and back in homes with doors closed and barred. So it's pretty much just you guys and the Sablekin and Cherry and Stape and you now see the Fyfe as well. He's shooting his bow up at the people, ringing the bell. What do you
I'm real
wanna do?
hurt.
He's getting like all these guys are all around him, so he's getting. Same with Stape and Cherry. Everyone's kind of there's a lot of these little creatures. You got
Bruised, gashed, and overwhelmed.
Either but overwhelmed right now is the worst part, right? So that's good. What do you do? What do you want to do? Do you want to try to create some tags like you could find something in your environment. So you can, in other words, you just want to create, there are tags I can give you. Like if you're going to pick up a bench or a table, we can add that in as a tag you can use in your action or what?
I think the first thing I'm going to do is an idea pops in my head. I look at Davrim and I go, listen to me really closely now. I need you to stop the dance. I'm going to throw you. I'm going to try and hold them back. Be prepared for a landing. So now I'm going to try and throw Davrim clear away from the Sablekin.
Yeah.
Don't throw me!
Gonna have to toss you.
Okay, so you're like throwing him on the other side of the bonfire, not necessarily over the bonfire, but you're trying to get him on the other side of the town square so he's closer to the bridge and away from into a spot you don't see any Sablekin, right? So that he is.
Why not over the bonfire? That's way cooler.
There's no Sablekin.
If I fail, he goes into the bonfire.
Yeah,
Through the bonfire.
we're on a winning streak right now.
Sure.
Plus, Davrim actually, weren't you like? Do we have a thing about heat and how you weren't affected by the heat?
Yes,
Just
accustomed to
saying.
heat.
Okay, maybe.
Uh-huh.
All right, so you're gonna pitch him right over the bonfire
No,
to the other side.
Oh man, here we
To the other
go.
side.
Nothing terrifies little shamans like a fiery blacksmith.
That's right.
Flying right
Yeah.
at them.
no, we'll have
Fine.
Davrim on fire, running directly at him.
You gotta have your hammer in hand too, just flying.
Of course.
Straight up Thor pose.
All right. Well, assemble some kind of a roll. Gather your power tags.
Okay. Try and get as many. Oh no, not that one. That one.
Davrim doesn't strike me as particularly aerodynamic.
Uh,
Never thought to come up with that
Is this
tag
part
when
of
I
the
was generating
plan?
this character.
and I think I'm gonna try and burn because I'm overwhelmed, gashed. I'm gonna use what strength I have left to throw them.
Quite a feat.
Okay, and then your worst status is just 1, so I'm going to put that in there. And that's fine. Go ahead.
Okay. How do I?
Oh, sorry. I didn't click my button. There you go.
Okay. Let's go.
Davrim, what is it like
Fuck
to be
yeah.
Yeah, I am throwing you. Clear across.
Yeah, man.
You might even have a perfect spiral.
Take him right into the shaman. Just the whole way.
All right, so you have a power of 2. We could use that to reduce Davrim's statuses while he's free and clear. He didn't take any damage. So obviously he's not grappled anymore.
Nope.
And you can use 2 to remove. So Davrim, you can hit the minus sign and press 2 to take 2 tiers off of your overwhelmed. Right now, the most overwhelmed you're feeling is, I just went through a fire and I'm now landing on the ground, rolling. All right.
I don't picture this as a Spider-Man crouch landing
No.
either. I mean, this is a rough roll through the dirt, getting all messy, crashing through some carts, maybe hitting a wall.
Softens the blow.
All right, so Davrim, you're on the ground there. You see you're closer to the bridge. It's not far, really. It's just a couple 100 feet where the base of the bridge is. And on the bridge, you see a small group of Sablekin that are doing this funky dance. And so I'm going
This is really triggering Davrim xenophobia. Like, he's got to do something about this. This is horrible.
Their dance is like smack dab in the middle of Uncanny Valley. They are not moving right, and they're doing their little weird dance. So you notice now, you can see, because the bridge is not straight, it's kind of off to the side a little bit, so you can see that the bridge is extending. It's actually growing across, like ghostly image of the bridge is continuing on. Like, it's got another arch that goes into the water, and it's you know what I mean? It's going across the bridge. What do you do?
I'm sure there are others who would have been better at this, but if South Crossing needs a dance-off...
Get him.
I challenge you.
You gotta do the-
Yeah, that's
bunch of townsfolk behind me.
yeah.
Time to step up.
Yeah, so
Like,
as you-
the townsfolk are walking up like West Side Story and like
Right?
So you hit the ground, you go into a cart, and then you knock the cart over and kind of break it a little bit. and but the way you end up is like this, right, on the ground, like ta-da, and so you can jump up and do whatever you like. Go for it.
All right, so yeah, I'm running toward the bridge. Let's try this. The bridge is reforming.
It is.
Or has reformed.
It's
The world is healing.
It's in the process.
You know,
Yeah, they're here to fix the
Just let
bridge.
it happen.
They're just
Yeah.
construction guys here to fix the bridge. What's going on?
Yeah, I don't want to think about this too much, but I will.
This is the fastest
I will.
like construction I've ever seen. Way better.
And it's unnatural. I will get my hammer and swing it down at the bridge, trying to kind of disrupt that process.
So you're gonna run up onto the bridge, kind of go through the Sablekin that are dancing and blocking the way. So can you imagine?
Oh, they're off the bridge then.
So imagine they're on the bridge. Oh, you want to go to the bottom of the bridge and kind of. It's a very
where it's
bridge.
reforming.
It's a really.
Oh, it's solid. Okay. I was picturing it as like hovering in pieces.
Bridge,
So
like
yeah, it's like London Bridge. Imagine like London Bridge.
Yeah.
It's a very solid bridge.
yeah, it's not coming back together. It's growing, right? So
It's-
it's like there's
Oh.
there's like stones coming
It's
out
like-
of it.
It's like it's resurrecting it instead. It's bringing like this ghostly continuation, like of what it used to look like back
Yeah.
way back.
Yeah.
when,
Okay.
It's growing across the bridge, and it's just reforming. New stones are appearing as they do this dance, right? And so there's like a row of Sablekin that cross they're not crossing the bridge. They're going sideways across the bridge, right? So they're blocking the way up onto the bridge. So if this is the bridge, they're across it like this. And then ahead of them is the shaman who's doing most of the summoning. And these guys are like supporting it, right, with their dance. And so with them together, they are enchanting the bridge
All right.
or bringing it back to life.
You know, normally I'm not supportive
addressing
of xenophobia, but if it helps you bash this guy's skull in, I mean,
I guess I will start by addressing the crowd, trying to get them to stop
There's-
this weird dance.
Okay, so you're going to talk to the Sablekin and tell
Yell at them, yeah. Basically order them away. This is South Crossing, and I say that like it has some kind of like meaning to it. Like they're supposed to like understand what I mean by that. And you are not welcome here. Stop what you're doing and leave now. I'll gesture with my hammer. But
Yeah, do
I
you
mean,
have
the
permits?
implication is if they don't, I'm going to hammer them all to death.
do
Hammer
you have
time.
construction permits? I will call the police. Where's the guardsman? Where's the red marshal?
He's the
my
one who
question.
brought Sablekin.
They were this entire time.
Right? He's still watching the guard. He's still on
He's
the guard.
asleep. He's
He's still
asleep, like at
For
a
this
bank
entire
somewhere.
thing.
He's probably in the bridge.
That's right.
house.
He was supposed to prevent somebody from going over the bridge.
He's in the bridge house looking for an appropriate weapon.
Ah. It's been a while
He's
since
just
he's had to
putting-
use that thing.
Right. I know I left that.
Maybe no. I used that last week.
That halberd
Yeah.
is around here somewhere. That'll be useful. Let's do that. Okay.
Cool.
All right.
I wish we would have asked this earlier. He would have been a help, maybe.
So do you want? You can create the red marshal as a tag if you wanted him to help you.
No, I'm doing my intimidating stand.
All right, go for it.
This is my moment.
You're trying to overcome their frenzy, right? And,
Yep.
And instead get them to leave.
Yes. Our village and warm heart. What do you think? Oh no! Instead of warm heart, iron will.
Yeah. Makes more sense.
And why not? Word of advice. Maybe not.
No, I don't know.
All right.
I don't really see xenophobia as being a weakness in this.
No.
It's not intimidating you with the fact that these are creatures that you don't have any experience
I
with?
suppose. Okay.
I mean, they're as xeno.
It's a phobia, right?
Yeah.
So you're doing this, but you are scared. That's the essence of courage, right?
Nice. So with an
Way to
11,
go.
how did 1, 2, 3, 2, 1? Yeah. So the power of 1 you can add to the disruption of what's going on or the demoralized. Where do you want to go? Are you trying to disrupt the dance or demoralize them?
Disrupt it.
Okay.
Yeah, disrupt is farther along.
Trying to get them to stop what they're doing.
Okay, so you've filled in their disrupted track. I'm pretty sure it's got 3 dots filled in.
Yeah.
At this point, because it was 2, and then another 2 went to 3, and so you filled in the 1 circle. So you've solidified the 3, and it will take another status, a tier of status to make it 4. All right, so you had some effect on them, but they are still going at it. Now, what you can see with this music change as you've started to do that, that on the other side of the river, in the darkness, you see a slit of light. It is warped light, so it's kind of, and the fog on the other side of the bank is beginning to move apart, and you can see the other end of the bridge on the other side very clearly now as it begins to part open to accept this ghostly bridge that's going to connect to it. All right. I'm going to add 1 more to the bridge dance. Fyfe.
Just so that I understand, the ghostly bridge didn't come from the other side?
No, they are
It like started in the middle?
They're on the south crossing side. They're up on the edge of the bridge, and they're doing some kind of ritual that is building the bridge to the other side of the river.
Oh,
side.
okay.
They're trying.
I had that reversed in my head.
Gotcha.
Okay.
They are trying to like build the bridge across.
Okay.
And now on the other side, there is a parting of that mist veil. And so if it can connect, then maybe they can go, or something can come.
Okay.
Okay? Fyfe. You now see also on the other side of the water, it catches your eye because it's brighter than the darkness, but it's still this warped kind of light that's, as you see the fog on the other side, the mist veil, as it's been called, begin to part. And you can see the stones of the other side of the broken bridge over there as well. These shamans continue to dance. What do you do? There are more Sablekin. You can hear the rabble as these guys are coming back into town, chasing after Brutus and Davrim.
Well, now that Davrim's over there, I don't want him to be alone. I want
sweet.
to. You said that there's people, like, in order for me to get over there, there's a bunch of guys out there.
There's not a bunch. They're more around the chapel where you were, the town hall. You could leap away from them and move.
I was
along.
thinking leaping over them, running, getting onto like one of the benches there, and like leaping over toward Davrim.
Sure.
Sure, like a quick outcome there.
No. You're just trying to escape.
No. I wanna back Davrim up.
Okay, and what outcome does that mean? What does that mean for you?
Sure. That would just move me into battle. That would make it so that I am circumventing the issue of them being in my way, and then once I'm over there, then I'll be able to assist him in his intimidation.
Yeah, so you're going to leave Stape and Cherry to their own. Got it?
I mean, they got a bunch of people with them, so
that's fine. Okay, good. So you've got them, and you want to just leap away
Davrim's
and
alone.
join Davrim. So
Yeah.
I think what you're trying to do then maybe is to reduce your overwhelmed, and that would represent you getting away. Does that make sense?
Well, I mean, I'm kind of running into the middle of it.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's fine. That's
So I mean, I'm not sure if that would really reduce my overwhelm.
if you get away
necessarily.
from them, maybe, wouldn't it? That's
Sure,
kind of what
against
I'm
the ones at the
thinking.
chapel. Sure.
Yes, that's
So,
what
yeah.
I'm saying. Right now, you're trying to escape the chapel and the crowd of them,
Okay.
and how well you succeed at that by reducing your overwhelmed status. You can end up at the bridge and no longer overwhelmed, right, by the bunch of them that are there.
All right. So I have haphazardous leap. I could, if I'm leaping over them, and that is mostly it, at least for the movement. What kind of roll would that be?
How about
Track?
you use your creative mind as well? It's still tracked because you're trying to get rid of your overwhelmed status. So get away from them. Otherwise, you'll bring them with you, and you'll still be overwhelmed by them.
Sounds good. Sorry, Davrim, if I bring them all with me.
So you could use your creative mind to find ways to ditch them, and fake them out, like do what's that called? A juke.
Bringing them
Yeah.
away from the town and away from that bell would probably be a good thing.
True. I mean, I also think that Elder Stape, having known the town, might be a little bit smarter than Fyfe and know how bell tower works, and that is that there is going to be a rope that hangs down to normal level that you get to pull in order for it to go, so he could go try to do that. It's another idea to throw out for our little NPC friends. But yeah.
Okay. So then I'm going to just put your bruise status, just that you're the worst physical status, because this is a physical kind of maneuver as there. So go ahead, and that's going to kind of make it an even roll. You're really feeling. There you go. Look at that. Resounding success.
Oh.
So you are going to reduce your. You don't get all the way away from them. So go ahead and hit the minus and reduce your overwhelm by 1. Since that was a power of 1. That you always get at least a power of 1 when you succeed.
All right.
So you are headed over more toward the bridge. You've got you've succeeded in getting near Davrim.
Davrim looks at you in complete shock. Like, what are you doing here?
You're alone out here. I'm not letting you get stabbed.
Get back to the tavern.
And no, absolutely not. And I'm gonna go up next to him.
All right, good. Brutus, on the other side of the town square, you are still being overwhelmed by these skirmishers, but now they're getting serious, so they are going to start to claw you. So I'm going to go ahead and threaten you with some more physical harm. All right, as now they're getting mean.
Physical. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm loving all the new words I'm learning today.
Right. Physical.
The word of the day is.
Right.
Physical.
Right.
So now that I know Davrim, and I don't know if I see Fyfe over there too, but I know I need to cause as much destruction to try to get the focus on me instead of them, so they can take care of the bridge.
Okay.
So I'm going to absolutely fight back and not hold back.
Okay.
Little note to help him a bit. Since you are taller and I was up high, you might be above the mist. I don't know. Obviously, it's Jim's call, but so
Yeah,
you
the
might be
mist
able to
is
see
only a
me and
few
Dapper.
feet off the ground, and it's used
So.
by these little guys to hide and attack from. They
So
actually
you probably
seem
see.
to supernaturally move between the little flows of mist.
Right.
Like they
So,
literally
I'm getting-
disappear and reappear over in a place, that kind of stuff. So they're all over the place that way.
Nice. I'm just yelling out, "Come on, you bugs!" So I'm gonna start clobbering left and right.
Okay,
It's clobbering time.
so
It is.
I'm always
Come on,
ready,
you bugs.
Right.
All right. Tracked
We're gonna
outcome.
go full Hulk. Got it.
Yep.
Big giant, little guys.
Do you want
Time
to
is mad.
grab a tool of any kind to do that, like
Yes.
a bench or
Is there
something?
anything nearby?
A wagon.
You can absolutely create a tag of something nearby. So, is there anything nearby? Is the right question. Roll to generate a tag of something that's nearby, or maybe more than one thing that you could use. Right?
Okay. Did I roll tracked outcome or quick?
Yes. Yeah. No, because we're counting power to see how many tags you might be able to create.
Okay. So tracked. Thinking ahead.
Yeah. I'm going to clobber these guys. I'll think ahead and try to figure out what's nearby.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Go ahead and roll that, and let's see if you can. You'll generate one power, so you can create We'll create a temporary tag, unless you roll with like above a 10 or something, and then maybe we'll give you more permanence in your tool.
All right. Let's see what I can find.
All right. So good. You create a tag. I'm going to put it up here. Well, actually, I'll put it on your sheet because you're carrying it. So how about like a bench or a table?
Instead of a chair, a table to throw. So is that? Where is that?
All right, so I just created it for you. I think you're probably going to break the table because it's only a power of 1. So it's a temporary tag you can use once for this, and it adds an extra tag to your roll while you're clobbering. Now go ahead and do your roll. Gather your power for doing the rest, right? You've got...
All right. I'm helping. Clobber. Draw. Table. What else? Oh, gashed or overwhelmed?
Yep, just pick one. You pick
Okay.
the highest one, whichever. They're both ones, so you would add that in there. That makes sense. Yep.
Oh, that one.
Yep. Okay. And then I'm just going to put easy to exploit working against you. All right, go for it.
All right. Nice.
Okay, so you're going to take gashed 1, but you get to deal power of 2, so you can add 2 to disrupted. Would you like to do that? Or no? I'm sorry,
Yep.
demoralized. Okay, so demoralize is up to 2 now, and you take your gashed 1. So it's gashed 2 on your sheet now. Perfect.
Yep.
Okay, good. Meanwhile, at the base of the bridge, 2 of our heroes are trying to stop the dance. Davrim has tried reasoning with them. It's not going well. The shaman starts making. He turns at Fyfe, and he starts making twisted gestures and croaks, kind of a stuttered breath, and you feel something just warping through and attacking your mind.
Fuck yeah.
What do you do, Fyfe?
Yeah. So it's not a tag, unfortunately. I'll have to make that tag in the future. I have, in order to mitigate this, Twilight Child, and I think Hopeful could also be a good thing to go over.
Yeah,
This
so-
is like a psychic attack.
So this is a threat right now. I haven't actually applied the consequence. Is there something you want to do to try to stop the threat?
Oh well, I'm arguing that I might just have more of a
Yes,
physical
so you can choose
like
to mitigate.
disposition to resist whatever's happening.
Yeah, you can choose to mitigate. In other words, you're just going to stand there and fight it, whatever's happening to you, right? That's totally cool. You can do that. That would be
Sure.
allowing the consequence, but then mitigating it to nothing, right? So that's what you can do. Go ahead and make a mitigation roll using those tags. You're not really sure what it's trying to do anyway, so
If it is looking into my mind, just question: do you think compulsively honest might come up if it's
No,
like
that wouldn't
getting
really
into my psyche?
Yeah, no, it wouldn't
Okay.
affect this particular thing, and you'll think it'll be clear
Okay.
why in just a minute.
Okay.
Could Davrim take an action in response to that threat?
Sure. What do you want? You want to steal the spotlight
See-
and help him somehow?
Yeah, seeing something clearly wrong with Fyfe,
Well, you
and
see the
maybe not
shaman
clearly.
did its thing, and this energy is kind of coming toward him,
Mhm.
almost like this weird twisted fog is trying to get to him.
Okay, so I'm oh. In that case, I'll try to intervene so that it hits me instead.
Okay. So then you need to make a mitigation roll.
I should have just pushed you out of
Can
the
I-
way, but whatever.
Well, I mean, if I was already going to make a mitigation rule, maybe we could like combine ours. As an idea, I could put a hand on your shoulder when you jump up, like, "Hey, no!" And we together could maybe resist.
Like
the
we
effect.
both get hit, and it like
The
splits or
idea,
something.
yeah, yeah. Power friendship.
If you don't mitigate, then you'll take the consequence, Davin. And then it may affect both of you. Okay? You can make a mitigation roll as well. If you choose to combine, then you can add some tags in if you want.
Okay.
I mean, Davrim can help with one tag, but then by contributing, he may end up being affected by this spell as well.
Okay, I guess that would be the way to go.
Okay? All right, so what tag do you think is going to help when you try to interfere?
So it depends if I'm helping him after he gets hit, or if I'm helping like take the hit.
It seems
But
to
either
be
way,
that
I
he's
think-
trying to do something like creating a fog. You can see it's similar to when he creates the fog in the village. He's creating he's pushing fog into
Okay.
into his head.
My initial thing was going to be to use warm heart or reassuring words, but with this change, it sounds like strength and unity would be a better fit.
Okay.
I still feel like a warm heart might fit.
Warm heart?
depending
I
on-
haven't used that in a
I mean,
while. I'll
we
use
don't
that.
have all the context, so Jim would know best.
Yeah.
Like you're going to bolster him because he's trying to resist by being first off a Twilight Child, but using his hopeful, positive attitude, basically, right? And so you can bolster that by don't let him affect you or something, right? And so you're
Solidarity.
Yep.
Okay, in that case, I'm going to use reassuring words.
Okay. Reassuring words.
Oh no way! You can, huh? You added on to my roll, so am I the one
Exactly
making
right.
the roll then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
This is your mitigation roll. Go ahead. See if you can
Cool.
kind of shake off whatever this effect is. You feel your mind starting to cloud. And so
Nice.
There it is.
actually- now you can take forward 2 power from that roll and apply a tag if you want. Like give yourself a tag.
Is it possible to deflect the thing back
it's-
at him?
You
Okay.
felt your mind start to fog. You were starting to, kind of like along the lines of the same disorienting they've been doing. This is very personal to you. You were almost going to like forget what was going on, right? What was I
Gotcha,
gonna
gotcha,
do?
gotcha.
What are they doing?
Yeah.
So
So I
it's
think the opposite would
fogging
be
your
more like
mind.
clarity or strength and purpose.
If I might
definitely think-
suggest,
Yeah.
how about like confidence too?
Mm. Yeah. There's a word close to that. I feel. It's
Hmm.
on tip of my tongue. I think solidarity might be a good word.
Okay. All right. So you can add that as a story tag and keep it for the rest of the scene. It's not going to burn when you use it.
Solidarity.
So that's kind of this, completing an action with flair, right? It actually strengthens you. By warding off the attack, you not only do that, but yeah, okay, good. All right, so Davrim, you've kind of acted, but you could do more. You see that the shaman then turns to you, and below your feet, these little vines start to just sprout up out of the ground. What do you do?
Well, Davrim is very reactive, so he's going to try to stomp them out.
Okay, so that sounds like you need to make another mitigation roll or face becoming entangled
Sure.
by these vines that are trying to grow up around your legs.
Guess what? I misspelled solidarity.
Oh no, better go fix it.
It's
Oh.
solidarity.
It's going to be the name of an NPC later.
How much did you sell it for? Okay, so very good. With this, Davrim, let's see what's going to happen here.
I got to get like fancy footwork or something as
Yeah, looks like I'm going to improve that, but you're still kind of overwhelmed. And now these weird roots are growing up out of the ground and tangling. These are tough little roots. So
All right, so all I've got is Iron Will. Actually, I don't know if Iron Will really helps against Entangled. I mean, it defends me against a lot of things, but I don't know if that's one of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have +0. Or -1, I guess, if we throw in Overwhelmed.
okay. You can pull in this tag of help if you think that one of the other PCs can be there to help you, like they show up and try to stop you from getting entangled. Do you want that? You guys are running this here. I just have fiat power.
Sure. So like Cherry shows up, or
Yeah, so you can do help from below.
because all of Elder Stape's tags are used.
Well, but there's also a scene tag, help from below, you could grab. Do you see that?
Oh, okay. So all the villagers did show up.
Somebody, Cherry or somebody.
Again, he
helped
might be
you.
able to ring the bell from below. If it's help from below.
Yeah, let's keep him doing that.
Okay. So go ahead and add that in there. That's fine. Give you a tag. So at least it's an even roll.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead and make a roll. Let's see. Oh no. 7 is a success. So you're going to still take entangled, but let's see. You'll take it
One less.
Yep. So you'll take entangled 1. You can still drag and drop, and then once you make it, just reduce it by 1. All right.
Oh, there's a checkbox for that.
The shaman then turns and does more with his twisted dance, and the bridge is almost ready to connect. I'm going to add +1 to the bridge dance. It's now at 5. The veil on the other side of the river parts a little bit further.
Who is the spotlight?
I'm going to throw it to Brutus now. Brutus, you're over there on the other side trying to whack-a-mole and sweep. You're cleaning house over there. These guys are going to attack you further. They're going to actually try to do the nasty claw attack. So they've got these gross, maybe even diseased claws. They're going to try to attack you. What do you do?
Check.
Ooh, so I'm still trying to smash them all, get rid of them.
Okay. So you broke your bench on several of them. It's no longer a tag for you, I don't think.
Right.
So the table. Sorry. So you can try to grab something else, or just go for it with your own tags.
I'm gonna try to grab another thing if I can use.
Okay.
Get ahead. Left.
All right. So you're looking for something heavy now, like a whole cart or something
Yep.
like that, right? A booth. Okay.
Something I can use.
All right. So you succeed, and you have a power of 2, so you can create a tag, and this tag will stick around. So you found something much more sturdy. What did you find?
I found. I think. What if I pull one of the logs that are still kind of on fire?
Okay. That sounds good.
And I use that.
Okay. So I've given you the status flaming log. You can use that in your move now to go ahead and try to whack these guys. Just wipe them out.
Nice.
Demoralize them.
All right. I'm using flaming log, gashed. I'm helping to keep them away from the bridge.
Sounds good.
What am I missing? Okay. Go with that.
Cool. So
All right.
Got a great success. You have a power of 2, so you can add 2 more to the demoralized. I'm going to add 2.
Yep.
That makes it demoralized 3. All right.
So I'm just sweeping house.
Also, thought maybe we were using your weaknesses enough you would go up, but I don't. Wait. Oh, your I don't know why it says +4, but it could be. You're strong as an ox. You can upgrade that by adding a new tag. So the way you do that is you click the lightning bolt that is at the bottom of the list, and that lets you add a new tag to your trait. I think you can actually do that twice. It says +4, which means you can do it 4 times, but I'm not sure that's right. Could be. We've been using accidental breaking a lot, so you can just keep adding tags until you've used up. I think you can add 4 tags. That'll give you more choices, but answer the questions. So when you click that lightning bolt, it pops up all the questions you haven't answered yet. and you can pick one of those and answer the question. Not sure why the lightning bolts are there. It's in a weird place, which is why I didn't notice it before. Okay. All right. The bridge dance continues, but two of the Sablekin turn, and they start to rush you, Davrim. My son is named Davin, so I keep saying it wrong. So, Davrim, they are going to try to cause you some grief. You have entangled, overwhelmed. They're going to just kind of try to come at you with like these little pack tactics and kind of try to attack you a little bit. So with that coordination, they are going to try to add more to your overwhelmed status. What do you do?
I am going to move up to the shaman. Like, try to get within striking range.
All right, okay. And then what?
I am accepting the overwhelming thing.
Okay. And when you do that, you're looking to get... And what's your action going to be with the shaman?
I attack him with my hammer.
Very good. So you can just go wail on the shaman.
Yeah.
Go for it.
All right, for this one, would my devotion to the village apply?
Yeah, you're trying to defend the village, for sure.
Because this could be like the defining strike that saves the village. At least in his mind. And I'm alone at the moment, so no strength in unity. So I have I have better with my hammer in our village. And then I guess entangled.
Maybe iron will. Oh yeah, you're going to have to be... Yeah, because you're entangled with these roots, that's going to play against you, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you think quality can't be rushed? Do you think this is a defining moment?
Quality can't be rushed?
Or xenophobia? Either of those weaknesses may play in here.
We'll go with xenophobia.
Okay.
Under the same explanation as last time.
Okay. All right. You also have some help to try to get, like, maybe to take some of the...
Yeah. I think that'll help when mitigating.
We're kind of ignoring the mitigation right now, and your attack is going on to F. And they are demoralized.
Well, I'm anticipating taking consequences, though.
I think
so. I will save help from below for that.
Well, I don't. I think this action is together. Like if you choose,
okay.
Like if you take no consequences, then this is playing into that, right? So if you get 10 or higher, you're not going to have any consequences.
Right.
That's what I was thinking when you said I'm just going to ignore that and take it, and then go, right? Instead of I'm trying to mitigate the damage I'm taking by doing something, right? That's a mitigation roll. In this case, you're kind of ignoring it, and you're going along. So the help from below are people at the base of the bridge that are trying to distract these things that may interfere with you, right? The Sablekin.
So they're not also helping me attack the shaman, then?
No. So But that's a factor, the way I see it, of getting in the way of you getting to the shaman and attacking him. You have to finish going through that line of dancers who will try to attack you or do something. But they're demoralized.
Okay, so I'm not attacking the shaman yet.
No, you
This
are.
is like a
This
prep
is
action.
It's all one movement. I don't see it
Okay.
as being. I don't see a
Okay.
point in breaking it down. They're just going to be a hindrance to you succeeding at attacking the shaman. So it's all
Okay.
about attacking the shaman. All right, but they're demoralized, and that's going to be a 3 power added to you. So I think that is.
Is it possible that our solidarity helps?
If you're going to like play a part in that, yes, for sure.
I definitely would, because I came up there to be with him. So if
Right.
he's
This is the
attacking Mary-
crescendo moment. We're both running up.
Yeah. So
Great.
I'll throw my solidarity with you.
Cool.
All
Let's
right.
do it.
In that case, I'll also apply strength and unity.
Uh-huh. All right, go for it. Let's see what this roll comes. This is going to be a crazy roll. All right. So, no consequences.
Nice.
All of that solidarity and strength and unity got through that, and you whack. You have a power of 6. You're going to whack that shaman off the bridge into tomorrow. You're going to knock him all the way into tomorrow or next.
Sure. Sure,
right.
I'll send him rolling down the bridge like as if a giant tossed him.
Yeah. So here's what
You have experience with that.
Burst of fire.
Right.
Yeah.
Bowling with a bunch of dancers in the back, knocking them down like pins.
I can't wait to hear this.
All right.
So you've disrupted the bridge dance. All of your coordinated attack is causing all these guys to rout. You knock the shaman onto the ghostly bridge. He rolls and bounces a few times. His staff goes flying. Everything that happened, his little mushroom hat is now crooked. It's not really a hat. It's really grown on him. So it's like you've taken off half of the mushroom, and you can see the inside of the cap of the mushroom on his head.
Scalped him.
And the music is stopped. Everybody kind of focuses on this moment. Across the bridge on the other side, a form steps out in anticipation of the bridge completing. It's almost to him. He's stepping to the very edge of the crumbled bridge on his side. It's a large figure. Not super tall like Mr. Super Tall on your team, but he looks like he's maybe 6 or 7 feet tall. He's wearing armor. He has chains that he's got like wrapped around his arms and things like this. And he's covered in kind of an armor, and there's a red glow through the helm that he has on his head. He stands there in anticipation, but the shaman rolls to the middle of the bridge, and then the bridge just kind of does the whole wisping away into fog, and the shaman falls into the water. little splash. The bridge ends, and the other Sablekin run away. The mist veil on the other side just begins to close, and this dark figure takes a step back, and the veil closes again. The night is quiet all of a sudden.
You got him! You bloody got him!
I grab
We did
Fyfe's
it.
shoulder, run, and we run off the bridge while it's fading away.
Fuck yeah.
All right. So
There we go.
Yep. So you run down. The bridge goes back to its normal state of being this big broken bridge. The village is empty of Sablekin. The fog begins to fade away.
After like 2 moments of silence, Davrim just yells out, "Yeah!" Hits Fyfe on the shoulder.
I guess Brutus I notice all the Sablekin disappearing, and I kind of finally just slump against one of the buildings. Oh, that was a tough one.
Some of the people come out.
And now I'll go prep the bonfire for the festival.
Yeah, back to business as usual, huh?
Must have been the wind.
Most of it.
All right. Well, that is where we're going to wrap our session for tonight. Good job, guys. Well done.
Way to go.
You fended off your first real threat to the village. These strange creatures that came out of the dark woods somewhere and tried to complete some kind of ritual to bridge the two sides of the river and allow some dark thing out. So, congratulations. With that, let's run closing credits. I'll ask, just going down the list of you three, where you think your strengths grew the most. I'd like you to give yourself an extra experience point where you are, or remove a burnt tag and make it whole again. So if you can justify doing both, you are welcome to do that. So we'll start with you at the top of my list, Nick. Where did Brutus grow most?
I think he grew most in working with people and working as a team with others and learning how to dance around crowds and deal with other people. So that might help with my problems with crowds.
Okay. So,
And I've used my strength a lot during this moment, all for the good of other people. So I think that grew more too.
okay. So, where do you think you should add an experience?
Strong as an ox,
Okay.
my strength.
Add an extra experience to that. You've still got a few more tags to add. You grew quite a bit actually from that weakness of breaking things. And you did create a little bit of damage throughout the town. So go ahead and
We're still alive though, aren't we?
just keep, you can add tags until that lightning bolt goes away. Or if you want, after you've added a few tags, why don't you can look through the improvements in the theme book and look for maybe a theme improvement. So you can do that too. Okay.
Okay. I'll add that before next session.
Yeah, cool. All right, Davrim, where do you think you grew the most?
Well, Davrim started off pretty pacifist and didn't quite end that way. So he's definitely got some battle experience, I guess.
Okay.
He's also developed kind of a friendship with Fyfe. I think that really cemented toward the end there. But on the other hand, he's probably still very suspicious of Cherry, and probably more so than ever now that she was kind of absent through most of this.
Right.
And
so do you think your devotion to the village grew more than your blacksmith, or more than
probably it's definitely one of those two. Okay. But I mean, I haven't actually like built anything, which is like half my blacksmith theme. So I think I'll put it in our village.
Okay. Looks like that will let you add a tag. So there you go with that. Now, you didn't burn any tags, so nothing to restore. You're good. All right. You'll be able to remove any of the harm tags, the overwhelm tags, statuses. So you're entangled, obviously, isn't there anywhere? You can remove those statuses. Same with you. Brutus can remove any of the negative, like gashed. You'll have time to wrap that up and get that dealt with. The overwhelmed, you can get rid of those. Okay. We're going to get rid of these other... any of the tags that don't apply, you can remove those, all of you. All right. So, Davrim, you can add an experience to yours. And now
I did that.
Fyfe, let me ask you, where did you grow the most?
Oh, there's the lightning bolt.
I was flip flopping a little bit, but I think probably Twilight Child is this is his first time really having an encounter with anything even close to that. And he was constantly watching what they were doing and how they were like using magic in a way, and so I think that that's where he grew the most.
Yeah, you used your
His
leaps and
knowledge
your
about
ramming
that.
and also
Sure, I use it a lot.
as well. All right, go ahead and grant yourself an experience there as well.
I don't think that when I'm most needed is mitigated. I feel like, my whole idea was that I'm exhausted. So I would have to help that exhaustion from the fight first.
All right, so I'm removing your statuses and stuff. You don't need those anymore. You'll get patched up, bandaged up. Your little bruised is fine. You got some salves and whatever. The wisdom after she takes another tankard can certainly help with any of those things. Cool. What about when I'm most needed? Do you think you could recover that burnt tag? Did you spoke to that?
Yeah, so I was talking about that just a second ago. Yeah, I think that they'll probably require like a scene or like some downtime in order to get that back. I don't think it's just at the end of battle.
Makes perfect sense. Excellent. Okay. All right. Well, good job, guys. We'll go ahead and wrap it up for today, and we'll say goodbye to our stream. Let me see if I can pull that back up here. All right. Thanks, everyone. Join us again next week.